Yo, what up? Mark's been talking for like 45 fucking minutes. Won't shut the fuck up, but here we are.
Yeah,
this is the Squeegee Life Podcast, live from the fucking moon. We're here with Seth Byers.
What's up, gentlemen?
Yeah, son. We're gonna talk about fucking spring today, man.
Ooh,
gearing up for sprizning, son. Don't forget, guys. If you want to support the podcast, go to www.patreon.com/Squeegee Life and sign your ass up, son. But how's everybody doing? Jason Lehman, Superior Services. That's Jacob. I don't know why Jacob just don't do it. Acme Window Cleaning. He's a scrub. That dude's a piece of shit. Pro Wash Missouri. That's Louis Coatney. This is the new Hard Body Karate Squeegee Life Dojo shirt. Pre-order. Hey, we're gonna put these on pre-order because they're I'm using a different t-shirt now. Chris Lamborghini's t-shirts. Like, he's got this special t-shirt that's all he'll wear, and I tried them out and they're wonderful.
They feel good.
They're wonderful. Yes, they are very nice. They're very nice. So, but we'll be doing those. It's the Hard Body Karate Squeegee Life Dojo fucking shirt, you know what I'm saying? So, you know.
Looking fresh.
Yep. PayPal me. We'll pre-order them. $35 shipped. Come with a Squeegee Life sticker. What up, Ryan Fuster? You know what we do and how we do it. What's up, Dad? My dad's watching because he's my dad.
Nice.
Jennifer's working on your logo right now, Jacob. So I'll send that over to you tomorrow. So we're going to be gearing up. We're going to talk about gearing up for spring. And before we go any further, pre-order for Kirsch. Yeah, if Kirsch wants one, like I said, $35 to my PayPal, CNWC at... I'll put it on the screen. But yeah, just PayPal me $35. We'll order all the shirts in. We'll get all the materials in. We'll print them all up and we'll send them out. But we're going to talk about gearing up for spring. And me and Mark were talking about earlier about the Zero Oval Pole. So if you want to get yourself a Zero pole from windowcleaner.com, if you call Jordy at 862-312-2633 and mention the Squeegee Life Podcast, he'll give you 10% off one of those Zero Oval poles, man. Or any pole of your choice. So, again, you call Jordy at 862-312-2633. Mention the Squeegee Life Podcast. They'll give you 10% off a new pole. Boom. Boom! A Zero pole. Boom, son! Boom, son! I'm sure eventually we will see Jersey, and he'll give you his number. I don't know his number by heart. I had to ask Chris for Jordy's, but Jordy don't get no love, so I'm giving Jordy some love. So, you know, call Jersey or Jordy, mention the Squeegee Life Podcast. They'll give you 10% off a Zero pole of your choosings. That's awesome.
Another Massachusetts guy. He's like a half hour, 40 minutes from me.
Yep. He's a hard roller. I've got his book, The Storefront Mastermind, that I've been reading. And it's pretty slick. I really like it. It's a good book. It's full of fucking good tips. I really like the. There's a couple of chapters in there on how to get work, and I really like it, man. It's awesome. It's a good book.
Yeah, I've seen some of his videos. They're really well together.
Jordy's pretty informed. He likes to inform people. So, but yeah, it's a pretty cool gig. I dig it, but it is what it is, though. Anyone, Mark? Do you have anything to add? I mean, anything at all? Or are you just gonna fucking sit there with your thumb up your ass like normal?
I already vented. I've already spoke to you for 15 minutes. I'm out of words. Okay? Get over it. I've come back to Florida. I'm enjoying my 80-degree weather. I hope your nuts ice over and crack off and look like little fucking pecan shells on the ground. All right?
I think someone's mad booty butt hurt about sucking at life. But
I was like in San Jose for like 40 days. I came back and I've been a bitch for like 3 days. I'm like, so cold.
Hey, as you guys could see in the video, Mark was bundled up totally, and I was out there in a sweatshirt because I'm a man. And
man, 50 grand, fucking, your blood must be like pancake syrup.
Yeah.
My shit is like water.
I wouldn't say it's like pancake syrup. It's more like pancake batter.
Yeah.
Really thick. Yeah. But right there on the screen there in the upper left hand corner, that's my PayPal account. $35 shipped to you with your size and your shipping address. PayPal cnwcohio@aol.com, and we'll take care of you. We'll get those out to you, son.
Nice.
Get it.
But yeah, man. Is there anything either one of you guys are like, man, I got to get this before spring starts? I mean, well, Mark not so much because Mark lives in Florida, so
yeah, we don't have a change of seasons here. It's just fucking hot all the time.
Yeah, I do my pre-orders and stuff mostly in December, and then I just did a big order for the whole season. Pretty much. I'll probably have to get rubbers, but I actually just got 2 of the Trad 12 poles. They just came in. So
okay, cool.
I haven't used them yet, but I'm using them on Saturday. But I opened them up, I was like, oh man, I'm gonna like this. So,
wow.
For me, I'm going to use it as like, doing commercial work. I don't obviously do a ton of it, but also for like water fit pole work on like story and a half, somewhere in that range. It just, instead of using, I have a 40-foot zero.
Yeah.
But like using it for that situation.
Did you get Trad 12s or 20s?
Trad 12s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, so like story and a half, when you're doing like a split level ranch or something like that. You don't feel like lugging that fucking pole around.
Right, of course.
He's in that situation, so.
Well, I tell you right now, I'm getting ready to do a 1 year in review of me using the zero pole. I've had mine for a year. Mark's had his for a year. I can't say enough good shit about it, man. It's a great fucking pole. I love mine.
Dude, is it me or like I have a I've put pictures of it. I have a Ruth Chris that has high glass, like 25 feet. I actually look forward to busting out that 5. I'm like, I don't mind doing this at all, man.
Right.
Yeah, it's just so good.
Yeah, it's
just so good.
Yeah, it's cool to talk about something and want something, and then it come to fruition, and then show up on your doorstep, and then it delivers. I mean, we had a little bit of a little bit of growing pains with the clamps, but they sorted that out almost instantly. So. That was nice to see. And ever since I put the new clamps on, I have no complaints, man.
No.
I was going to say the clamps were like my favorite part when I got the pole, because I immediately took it out in my shop, and I have like a mezzanine office, and I have a window there. So I was like trying it out on that, and I was like, I loved it. The clamps are super easy.
Right.
Yeah.
Right there. I can pick up my
set. Guy's on a set.
Right.
Are you still in California? Did you bring the set with you?
It's like the moon landing. This is
right.
all fake.
Yeah, it's all fake, son.
It's
live from the moon.
You must have built that out because it's a different shade of gray.
Eyes wide shut, motherfucker. It's good.
Well, I can tell you this, man. One thing you definitely need for spring is a handy sleeve. If you don't have a handy sleeve yet, you're a hoe-ass bitch. Straight up.
Dude, I just can't stop using it.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's for everything. I'm lucky enough to be a tester. Me and Mark both have been testing the handy sleeves now that are going to be, they're coming out with mop covers, and I can tell you right now, them fuckers are cleaner than Skeeter's Peter, man.
I'll tell you what,
slicker than goose shit.
Gray mop cover
Sharper than bear claws and slicker than goose shit, them fucking things is, boy.
Since Richie sent me the 18-inch mop sleeve, the gray one that he sent you,
yeah.
I haven't taken my 22 out of my truck, and I'm a 22 and 18 squeegee guy because most of my work is big plates, commercial. And I'm like, I noticed my elbows feel better. Okay, so I got to swipe one more time because I got 18 instead of 22.
Yeah, but they're not as sloppy.
That mop cover is freaking. You know what? I like the way that they have it designed where the ends of the mop itself and handy sleeve are exposed, not for scrubbing, but it doesn't wet the top frame at all.
Yes.
Okay. And you can still wipe, go around, do your edges with it. It's superior to anything.
I don't know if that was a designed thing or if Richie meant to do that. He'll say that he did because you know how Richie is. He'll say that he did, but
I'm going to be busting on Richie all night long because we've had some conversations and I had a question for him and he didn't answer it. So I figured because now I'm going to be moving forward with Maker Products with my stuff. I can announce that. I'm going to be busting Richie's Fonzie fucking slick back, greasy, leave the door open while I shit ass up. Yeah.
V-Cash, what up, V-Cash? I got your shit packaged up. V-Cash was the subscription winner. He won a full set of handy sleeves, 18 down to 6 inches. So he's getting the 18, the 14, the 10, and the 6. He meant to do that. But yeah, that's what's cool about those handy sleeve mops is that there's no material on the ends. So
yes.
I mean, you could still do some scrubbing because the Velcro's on the end, but it's like I wish I had one in here, but it's wet. It's just a rectangle, and you stick it to your mop, and the ends there's no material on it. So when you're doing around, like I do a lot of commercial work, so when you're going around a commercial frame, those deep set frames, normally you get a little water, you know what I mean, on the frame. And it, you got to do a little extra detailing. With this, you're not getting all of that fucking water on there. There's still a little bit of water, but not like you're normally getting. You know what I mean? So I could say he says that he meant to do that, but I don't believe a fucking word.
So like when you're bringing the mop up at like a side angle when you're wetting the top, so
it's dry.
It's
dry.
Okay.
It's dry.
Yeah. I didn't get the question, Mark. You said question, then you didn't ask.
Yeah. Okay. So what transpired today was Richie called me.
Yeah.
And said, could I send him some polish?
Uh-huh.
And what does he need to polish glass? And I said, because he was busy watching the video that you and I did in your
1,000 views that video. My quickest video to 1,000. Go ahead, anyways.
So I will say TJ acclimated to the polisher like a freaking like a gangster. I mean, it was like he watched me for 10, 15 minutes and he was on his own. Get the fuck away, give me that thing. And I know that TJ has a huge future in fixing bad glass. Okay, so I guess Richie wants to join in, and due to the fact that Richie's with Maker, I'm going to oblige. And I told him I'd send him some polish, and he says, okay, well, I want to remove scratches. I said, well, first get proficient with the polisher, just like I told you, T. Right? I said, get comfortable with that polisher. You have to be, it's just like anything else. You have to learn how to put that polisher where you want it. You can't allow it to take you where it wants to go, right? So I said, get acclimated with the polisher. Here's the part number. I'll send you a pad. I'll send you, the polish and everything. No, I really have to do scratches. I explained to him that that's going to come later. Well, he says, how are we going to sell this if you're going to tell people that comes later? Well, that's fine. That's where training comes in. So my question to Richie is, if I went out tomorrow and bought a commercial sewing machine, right, could I make a tip jar? Answer that, T.
No, you couldn't.
Absolutely not. I don't even know thread from a bobbin. Okay, I'm not a seamstress. So I know how to plug it in and make that thing go up and down and stick shit in there and pierce holes in everything. Right. But I don't know how to sew.
Well, I think a lot of guys may have a misconception here. You're not necessarily selling a polish. You're selling a process.
Exactly.
Guys are gonna want to buy this. They think it's sorbo powder or diamond magic, and they're gonna be able to put some on some and then just rub it off. This is a process, and at first I thought, and I'm just gonna get this out and just let me speak for a minute.
Go ahead.
At first I thought, I've tried a lot of products on the market, all of them, and Mark went to the job that I tried these on, and he could see the stains didn't budge. So Mark come down. He was here for some work. He's like, hey man, let's go try out some. He goes, I want to show you some shit. I gave the guy a call, and he said, yeah, sure, go and do me a couple of samples. We went, and what I spent hours on, Mark rubbed off the glass with his process in like 15 fucking minutes. And I'm not just saying that just to say that. I mean, there's no camera tricks involved. It's 15 minutes. It took that caulk-case off the windows like we were washing it. You know what I mean? It took a chemical stain off that brick. From the brick, they were, whatever the fuck they did to that brick, onto that black glass, it made it look brand fucking new. It's not so much, the polish, of course, is very, very special. Mark's, what Mark's got going into the system, what Mark's end of it is very special. A lot of time and dedication and money went into that. But it's also the process. Mechanical polishing is the way to remove a stain properly. That's just the way to do it. That's just the way to do it. Now, I'm sure that there are instances where there might be a light stain that you could probably get off with a little bit of scrubbing or this and that and the third. My shower doors look awesome. Jennifer says our shower doors were opaque, and Mark brought them back to life. We scraped them down. We polished them out. Mark wanted to cut the glass, but I didn't feel it was necessary because he didn't feel good. And I just let's not. You've done enough. But it's a process, and I'm going to try to. We've discussed this. Mark and I have discussed this. I'm going to try. I have tried to use the polish by hand, but it didn't work the way I don't feel the result. It worked, but not as well as I know it can work with a polisher. So
had you not had a polisher in your hand and the demonstrations that I showed you as well as taught you, you would be like, yeah, it's probably like anything else that, whether it be Diamond Magic or any of those other things. I'm not going to poo-poo on any other product. What I am saying is the process works. The process is efficient.
And it's safe.
Yes, you will not damage glass, and once you become proficient with it, you can make a lot of money.
Yes.
You can. There's no doubt in my mind that if you think you're making good money doing windows, you can make a lot more money fixing windows, because I have, and I would love to have people out there doing what I do and making that money. And, there's money in it for me too. I'm not being selfish.
I haven't done any polishing since Mark has left. No, I have removed some stains. I'm going to try one of Mark's pads instead of steel wool and white non-scratch on a bank. I was going to do it the other day, but it started raining, so I couldn't, Mark. But I'm going to go back and I'm going to try with the pad and see if the pad's maybe a denser material.
Honestly, we have discussed this, and I am going to, when I was questioned, would it work with the hand type of pad, I didn't have an answer, because to me, I'm going to plug in my polisher, and I know I'm going to wreck that stain. You know what I'm saying?
It's coming right off. It's coming off.
Yeah,
so, Mark, I have two questions for you.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, you may not be able to answer them.
I'll try.
Do you think I guess this would be a down the road question, because obviously you're still in the process of doing it. Would you eventually want to do like a class where like almost all these things where some a group of people would come down to you?
100%. Absolutely.
Like
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. That's part of the plan.
Okay.
That people could come. Here's the issue. The only issue is that it's very hard to duplicate stains in a lab, or in a lab setting for me to bring for you to polish out. But the process that I do,
Well, would it be like on-site training? Because I know like power washers, they'll book a bunch of jobs and then bring guys with them. They
ideally
give the customer a discount on it.
Ideally, we could have something, let's just say hypothetically, at the huge convention, where we can put whoever wants to come to this seminar or this training session, and all I need is a few hours with you, okay? and teach you the process, okay? And at that point, I would look.
I could not to cut you off, but I could most likely get damaged sashes for you. I know 2 guys that replace windows. I could probably get damaged sashes for you. But go ahead, continue.
Yeah. So part of it would be teaching the process exactly, and I would love to be able to do that to answer your question, because to me, look, I like to work on things, but if I bought some special tools, that doesn't mean I can rebuild a transmission. You understand what I'm saying? Right. So the one thing that I'm most excited about was the fact that I took TJ, who had very little or no experience with a mechanical polisher, and within 15 minutes he was on his own. And the second thing is the fact that with this process, you're not going to damage windows, and that is very important, because if you go to somebody and say, let me do a free sample for you and show you what I can do with this glass, and you swirl the living shit out of it, what are you going to do now? Because it's probably worse now than it was before you did whatever it was you did to it. This polish, you could put it on glass and stay in the same spot for 2 hours, and you're not gonna damage it. You're not gonna leave swirls. You're not gonna leave gouges in the glass. It's just not gonna do that.
Right. I think most likely and this is something that so guys are like, oh man, I really want to buy this stuff. When is it going to be available? Give it some time. Just give it some time.
We're working on. Well, let's put it this way: all of the raw materials that go into the polish will be ordered shortly. The first, let's just say hypothetically, 500 bottles of this. I'm going to wind up packaging it all myself, or with Casper and Richie's help. Okay, and we're gonna hand some out to people as testers. We're gonna sell some. Exactly. People that I trust and people that want to learn this will have the opportunity, because you're all testers. TJ's a tester.
And I can tell you this, I'm of the mind, and Mark and I talked about this, the polishing aspect of it. I will do a tutorial on how to do this, because Mark showed me how to remove stains. Yes. Now, the scratch removal and stuff like that is a more intensive process. You're essentially removing layers of glass and then polishing it back to a bright, brilliant surface. So really what everyone needs to understand is that this process is something you need to master the polishing first. This isn't like, I just started cleaning windows and this woman's got screen burn or scratches on her glass. I'm going to buy this stuff and I'm going to be... No, that's not... This is a skill that you're going to learn. You know what I mean? And this, so the polishing part of this, I'm confident with some simple video tutorials. Anyone that buys this and grabs himself a polisher can remove. That's how easy this is. And it may seem like, oh, well, if that's that easy, I'll just buy, the system I see here and I can do that too. It's not the same thing. Mark has put a lot into this, And
then on top of training, on top of being able to purchase and probably see tutorial videos that we'll have TJ put together and try to make it to the lowest common denominator, where, okay, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to do this, then you're going to do this, then you're going to do this. And if that doesn't take the stain off, then there's going to be consulting. Like Seth comes across a building that has silicate stains on the first floor, and he says, I think there's some money to be made here. And he talks to the building manager, and building manager says, go ahead and do a sample. And Seth's proficient at polishing, and he says, Mark, it's like 80%. I can't figure out the last 20%. Okay, now on a job of magnitude, okay, I go up there, bring my gear, spend 2 days with Seth, get him to where he's proficient at it, okay, boom, he sells the job, done, okay, because this isn't window cleaning for $300 a cleaning. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I guess my second part question, I don't know if you can answer this either, because it's probably a fairly vague question, is the profit margins on something like this has got to be fairly high to want to do it, right? Right.
Okay.
I've already sold.
Yeah.
I've already sold a job.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, look, here's the deal. Okay.
And this is the thing. Before you get going, this is the thing. Guys will be like, oh man, it's really expensive to do this, but the way you sell this is like either I can remove this stain or the glass continue to get shitty and you can fucking replace it. Replacement cost versus repairing cost.
Exactly right.
It's
Exactly
going to
right.
offset itself. So
to answer your question, the two most important things is the confidence in what you're going to do. Okay, because if you don't think it's intimidating to take abrasives to a $3,000 window, you got to get over that. Okay, you got to have the mindset where you're going to say to the guy, listen, we're going to try to fix this. Nothing I can do is going to make it any worse. It really needs to be replaced. But if I can get it to a certain point or perfect, would you be interested in paying for that? So there's the sales point. And the second thing you have to do, which a glass installer taught me this, and got it in my head, you can't think like a window cleaner. This is not window cleaning.
Right.
Okay. The value of the service far exceeds window cleaning, because window cleaning, you're going to show up, you're going to clean the windows twice a month, you're going to collect $50 a month, and you're going to move on. And it's boom, 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 cookie cutter, and you got to hump them. This is something that, I've had jobs that have lasted a month and a half. Okay, 6-7 weeks.
This is an add-on specialty service.
Exactly. So you've got to sell it differently. Meaning this: if someone is looking at these stains, for instance, and they're really bad and they're ready to correct the problem, you got to look at this and say, well, it would cost him $7,000 to replace those 4 windows, but for $3,500, would he spend the $3,500 to make it as good as if it was new or replaced? If the answer is yes, okay, you can make that $3,500 in a day. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, yes, the profit margins are huge. As far as the polishes, TJ has learned too. With the polish that I make, less is more. Meaning this: that little bottle of polish that I left TJ with, he'll be able to go do probably 80% of the job that I saw he was on, which was a lot of windows, if he uses it right. Okay, so point being, if that bottle costs him $30, okay, and he turned $3,500, is that a bad investment for 2 days' work? You know,
is a polisher, which is a couple $100, some pads, and maybe between maybe $30 worth of polish, which I have a small bottle, so it'll probably sell double that size. I'm sure is what it'll do.
Yeah,
but
you'd probably
like maybe $70-$80 in polish, and you're got the potential to make probably fucking $3,000 or $4,000.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's
and just remember, TJ, when you go to the veterans home and fix that glass, the chief engineer, whoever you work with there, now has it in his head that TJ Gilbert achieved what no one else we didn't think could do, and saved me $50,000 in replacement glass. Okay, for $3,500 or $4,500, whatever you get for the job. He's going to tell people about that. That's how I get my work. There's no website. There's no other than a Sky's the Limit Facebook page, which I did see Seth liked it the other day, so thank you, Seth. But I mean, you know what I'm saying? I don't promote it. I've never spent a dime. Okay, my work grows through one job leads to another. Now,
right.
If I put my
it's a Makita polisher.
Yeah, a 9227C.
It looked like a Makita polisher. I was actually just going to ask that.
There's no secret to that, and I've used every one: the DeWalt, the Milwaukee, the Makita, the Bosch, the Fine, Fine, which is a German polisher.
Yeah.
I've bought them all. You're getting from me all of
his knowledge.
The knowledge, and I spent the money to find out what didn't work, so you don't have to spend the money to try.
What's it been? 12 years you've been working on this?
Between 10 and 12 years I've been.
And there are other things that you can do to upsell this service. You could even sell them on sealing the glass with Nanovations to keep the stain away. There's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of room here for growth. You know what I mean?
Well, it seems like you can show a lot. Like you can get from what Mark was telling me, you can gain a lot of trust just in providing that one service, which could
Right.
lead to another 3 or 4 for
Right.
you. Basically,
Yeah.
doing something for them at saving them.
I was nervous when I was like, I messaged the guy and I was like, hey, can we come and do a sample? And he's like, yeah, sure, man. I try, whatever. But I gotta admit, I was a little nervous. You know what I mean? I'm like, I do this account 4 times a year. Mark gave it away, but I wish you just shut your mouth sometimes. I have to go back and bleep that out. And I'm just kidding. I have a good relationship.
Dude, you
with
should
that
be
guy. I'm
proud
not
of that
worried
account.
about-
That's
yeah.
a great account.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
That's a nice job.
I do it 4
When
times.
I went out to see TJ, he drove me around and showed me that account. That's a pretty sweet account.
I've been doing it
Yeah.
before my company has been doing that since before I owned the company. So we've been doing it I have a pretty good relationship with them, but I was nervous. I was like, man, because anything could happen, anything could go wrong. You know what I mean? Who knows? You know what I mean? But I had a little comfort. I was like, well, if Mark's here, if something goes wrong, at least, the worst that could happen is we're going to be freezing our balls off trying to fix this. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But it was simple,
yeah.
man. I was literally fucking dumbfounded. I was like, dude, fuck you. Like,
Yeah,
that was my
let's say fuck
response.
you.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm
you
standing
can
on
working
I'm
in
standing
the-
on my toolbox and I hear "fuck you."
Fuck
You
you.
go, "Oh my
dude."
god, fuck you!" Within 2 minutes, and I'm like, "Wait a minute, what did I do?"
Yeah.
You know?
It come right
I'm
off.
fixing it.
I'm
Yeah.
fucking scraping this bitch, diamond magicking it, fucking every fucking thing I could possibly think of. And this cocksucker comes up in fucking 15 minutes, gone.
Was
the
it
first
brick
two-
seamless? Is that what it was on there?
What it was, I assume at some point in time, somebody sprayed an acid-based chemical on the brick to brighten up the brick, maybe to, how they weather and the concrete starts to leach, or effluence. What do they call it?
Efflorescence.
Efflorescence. Something was going on because the windows closest to the brick were the worst. So when I saw that right away, I said, no, we're going to attack the worst window. We're not going to go with this over here where I know it's
And he
going to
did.
come up. We're
Made
gonna
the worst
challenge
window. Well, the
Yeah.
dude called. He actually messaged me. He's like, hey, he goes, I'm not to rush you. He goes, you already gave me the price over the phone, but I need that estimate because it's really, really noticeable that
Well,
you
see,
fixed that one
that's the
piece.
thing. It's like-
You
it's
can
like I
see
said,
the change happening while you were doing it.
Oh,
You can-
yeah.
You
You
can
know,
see
like
the color change.
You can tell when that glass is like almost goes from like hydrophobic to hydrophilic.
Yes.
Like you
No,
can see that look to
You
it.
know what, Seth? With this on his windows, because they were black, even where it didn't look like there was a stain, it completely changed the color of the window.
Yeah.
It completely changed it. It changed it to what it probably originally was.
Well, the fact that the camera picked that up, and I'm sure in person,
Yeah.
it's way
Cameras don't pick up very easily.
not.
But look, the confidence in what you do took me a long time because I'm that kind of person. So when you become proficient in polishing and then in the scratch removal, which as TJ knows and he saw firsthand, like on his shower doors, glass after a while erodes, okay, like water on a rock in a river, right? Eventually the rocks become smaller, right? I mean, that's a fact. Jagged rocks become smooth. The same thing with glass. You erode the surface of the glass. So I'm here to tell you there is no polish available or pad or polisher that's going to put 100% clarity back into glass that has surface damage. So at that point, you treat that damage as if it was a scratch, okay? And it can be brought back. But when you get to the point where, like, you become confident enough to know that anything I do here, I can fix. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Then you lose the intimidating factor of I'm going to put something on this guy's glass and who knows what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying?
Jason's got a pretty good question. Jason wants to know, do you have to seal the glass when you're done? Do you have to seal the glass?
No, you don't have to seal the glass.
No, it's not needed. But
No, I can tell you this.
But it
Unless
is another good upsell. It's
a great upsell.
Yeah.
It's a great upsell. You do not have to. And when you polish glass, okay, and it changes colors like what we did with TJ, you can put your hand on it and feel the difference between what it is and what it was.
I can tell you right now, you could tell between the difference when we, because when we first started, he's like, let's, of course, let's wash it first, clean it, get all the shit off, and
Debris,
debris. We washed and scoured it, you know what I mean? And you could tell instantly when you ran your squeegee, it was like brand new rubber. It's
Yeah.
You're essentially pulling the impurities and cleaning the pores of the glass is essentially what you're yanking that shit off the surface. It's fucking cool, man. It's super cool, dude. It's super cool.
And look, to answer the question is, I always try to upsell the glass sealant, okay? Because Nanovations will tell you, if on restored glass, if it's restored properly, they'll give you a 5-year warranty that the stains, whatever someone does to it, if somebody comes by in 6 days after TJ's done and wants to acid wash that brick again, and it damages the glass, they give you a 5-year warranty that stain can easily be removed. Okay? On brand new glass, meaning if you have a new shower enclosure and you apply the product, you can get a 10-year warranty that the stains don't stick.
Right.
Okay? So why wouldn't you upsell that? Because it's, number one, your maintenance is much easier, and number two, you make money on that product. I mean, you mark that product. If you pay $100 for an Nanovations kit, okay, you're going to sell that for $200.
Right.
Okay. The labor is nothing more than window cleaning, basically. You know, it's a wipe on, buff off with your hand, and it's done. So why wouldn't you upsell?
How often should you clean to maintain? Well, I mean, I guess that's all dependent on the area. I'm like, Mark has, you know, a fountain that he does, and it's got glass next to the fountain, and I'm sure he has to maintain. He maintains that twice a month to keep that clean. It just, I guess, it really depends on the situation, Jason.
On the conditions, but I can tell you this: if TJ does nothing else at that property that we visited, if he doesn't restore all the glass around it, in 2 years from now, you could drive by there and you would see still the difference between what was
there's
done
no question.
and what wasn't done.
Because I went back the other day because it was sunny outside, and I just was like, because after he called me, I was like, oh, whatever. So I drove past, and it was evident from fucking like 30 yards away, you could tell the difference between that one piece of black glass and the other black glass next to it. Go ahead, Seth.
You could probably even feel it at that point.
Yes.
Yeah,
feel it. Stain, like, you know, when you go to wash it and the water just doesn't stick to the glass.
It's like ice.
No, right away.
Right.
But like, you know, you can like feel that the stains.
Well, let me back this up a minute, and this will answer your question. One of the first shower doors I restored, which wasn't as bad as TJ's, it was a lot of soap scum, and there was no erosion, but there was mineral damage to the glass. Okay. That it was generally shower enclosures, the bottom 3 feet is the worst part, right? Because the way naturally the water bounces off and the soap and everything else. So I did a lady's house, had a beautiful shower enclosure, and I prepped the glass, I polished the glass. It looked brilliant. 3 days later, she called me and she's like, you got to come back. And I'm like, what's the problem? She goes, well, the problem is I can tell where you fixed the glass. And I couldn't quite understand that. So I went back to the house. We turned the shower on hot. And I stood back, and you could see where I took all the stain off the lower 3 feet, but I didn't do anything else above it. I scraped it down, I washed it, and I'm only going to do what I need to do to make the thing look, in my opinion, perfect. So what would happen was the bottom of the window would sheet off, like it would look perfect, and the water it was wet, but it was, you know, it was definitely hydrophilic, right? The top glass was hydrophobic, and it was water droplets everywhere. So I said, okay, I'll take care of this. So what did I do? I cleaned off the window and I polished the entire thing. Not as aggressive as if there was a stain, but what I did was I basically pulled any other contaminants out of that glass, because that's what you're really doing, is you're pulling contaminants out of the pores of the glass. And then we turned the shower back on, and it was perfectly even. So you learn with that. So that answers the question. You got to blend everything together so that when it rains or when someone's washing it, you know, and we're talking about another 10 minutes, if that, to go over the part that's not stained to make sure that it all blends together.
A half hour, 40 minutes you spent.
Oh, Joseph's watching. Hello, Joseph. I'm sorry I missed you, Joseph. He's probably gone. He's like, they didn't acknowledge me. Fuck these guys.
I said hi, Joe.
Oh, did you?
I'm going down to kick some ass here at this convention.
The other product you spoke of, Nanovations, that is put on after the stain removal. Is it like titanium dioxide?
I'm not familiar with titanium dioxide. Basically, the Nanovations product is as simple as putting Rain-X on. Okay, only thing is it doesn't leave that haze, and the only thing with Nanovations is you don't want to do it in the sun. And basically, You prep the glass, which you've already done with your restoration, okay? Or if you're not restoring glass, you just clean the glass, okay? And then you put it on these towels they give you, which do not really absorb the product very much, and you spread it evenly on the glass, and then you take a dry microfiber and you just detail it, okay? And within half an hour, you can take a garden hose to it, and the water just runs away. I mean, it literally, we did half windows, and you could see so much difference with the Nanovations, you know. So, yeah, I suggest that upsell all the time.
Well, I can tell you this. I can't wait to get some before and after so I can start selling this shit to people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well,
like, I can't wait to start selling myself on this. So, you know, just putting it out there. Because I really feel like if you guys approach this, and this is the way I'm going to approach it, do you have stained windows, you know, before and after, you know, price versus replacement, blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's going to sell itself, man, especially if you're proficient with it. And I'm not just saying that because Mark's going to make some money off of making this fucking shit, but it's legitimately... I was like, man, fuck you, dude. You know, that was my reaction, was like genuine, man, fuck you, dude. You know what I mean? That's how easy that was. You know, because I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, man, we're going to be polishing on this shit for a while. I should have brought a coat. You know, I'm going to take my coat from Mark. Fuck Mark. He can be cold, whatever. I felt bad for him because his little tiny butt cheeks were hanging out. And, you know, I was like, man, it's going to be fucking cold. And then, like, fucking 2 minutes, he just sprays the stuff on there, fires the fucking polisher up, makes 2 passes on the glass, and I'm like, fuck you, dude. I mean, it was instant. I should have been closer on that first window. Yeah. That first window we did, I should have shot the shit out of that, because that was really fucking impressive.
Well, polishers will make you feel like you're pushing too hard and you want to stay off of it. At least that's my experience.
You can tell, and when you're running across the stain on the glass when it's gone, because the pad won't grab the way it did when the stain was on the glass. I mean, it's
kind of slide.
Henry, what's up, Henry Drees? Where the fuck you been at, you cocksucker?
Mark, so I guess I have one more question about this topic, because I know probably not in your area, because you don't deal with a lot. I do a lot of power washing, and people in my area do a lot of power washing. And bleach etching is kind of a thing here where people don't rinse the windows well enough. Would a polish take care of, like, bleach etching? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, whether it's been left on the glass too long?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, the only thing that you're going to struggle with, and I had to do one 6 months ago, was somebody came to a high-end home. We have this, what's called coquina stone. It basically looks like slabs of
is it a blue stone?
It's a coral. No, it's a white coral stone. It's man-made, but it's very soft. If you pressure clean it, you can blow it apart, and it's very porous. Well, the best way to clean that is to either bleach the living shit out of it, or acid wash it, or both. You know, I'm not a pressure washer, but this guy basically blew the acid from the stone onto the windows and didn't rinse them, so he left little dots everywhere, and those dots were obviously muriatic acid, which did not wipe off. You know, if you took and went like this and then put your finger on them, they disappear for a minute because the oil from your fingers or face would mask them. And this guy was on the hook for, you know, $40,000 worth of windows. And basically, that's one of the hardest stains to get out because it's surface damage to the glass. And this just wasn't.
Is that like an acid etch would be more of like a resurfacing project?
Yeah, depending on how deep it goes. Fortunately, these didn't go.
How about masonry sealer?
Yeah, well, a sealer that's penetrated into the glass would need what a polisher would do. But like I said to TJ, and I don't understand it. When I show you part of the process is the prep, which is scraping the window down, cleaning it, making sure there's no debris, because the last thing you want is a piece of grit or something getting hung up in the pad and cutting the glass.
You don't want to run more contaminants into the glass.
Exactly right. And you have to keep in mind that stain you're pulling off is now part of your pad. So you don't want to, not that the pads don't last a long time. They last a long, long time. But you got to know when to look at that pad and go, it's time to put a new pad on here because I'm going to start damaging glass. Because if you're spinning calcium and minerals, you're going to leave swirls. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
And from what I've seen from the pads that I have here on me right now, sitting right up there, I got I got two of the pads up there. You'll be able to. I think you'll be able to tell when that when that's full up. You know what I mean? You could tell. You'll be able to tell. Now, should those pads be in
they're
Ziploc
not-
bags?
You can't flip them because one side has a Velcro back and the other side. But they
Will those-
last. The pads
will those
that I
dry
left
out?
with TJ, huh?
Will those dry out?
No, you never have a problem with them.
I mean, you know what I'm saying?
you-
You know what? You know, because you told me you want to. It's nice when the polish gets built up in there because you don't have to use
Yes.
as much polish.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
not going to dry up.
No.
Oh, okay.
No. As soon as you start, you get some heat in it, get some liquid back into that pad. You notice that I was injecting the polish into the pad on
Right,
sometimes.
right.
Instead of squirting it on the surface of the pad, I was squeezing the trigger and impregnating that pad with more polish, and then it slowly releases and bleeds through the pad.
Right.
Okay, and then it just like, I like sometimes I'll spray the glass, sometimes I only spray the pad. These are things that you basically, it doesn't really matter, but you try to figure out how waste not to make a mess.
Right.
If you're slinging that shit everywhere, you're going to spend as much time detailing and scrubbing it off the frames as you are fixing the problem.
Right.
And that
It's
comes
almost
with
like
time.
car wax pad, where the more times you use it, the more the pad has been holding the material that you use less.
Like a pad that I use strictly for the third step of scratch removal, which is the same process as doing a stain. So understand, if there's 3 steps to scratch removal, right?
Yep.
The third step is the same. So once you learn that, that's why I say want you to learn that first.
You're working your
You
way.
only have to learn 2 steps
Right.
on scratch removal.
Once you learn the polishing, you only
Yes.
have to learn
Yeah.
the resurfacing part of it.
Yeah.
So once you master the polishing, you'll be able to resurface the glass
Yeah.
and use that last step that he's
Yeah.
giving you guys now
Yeah.
as the bring it back to life step.
Yeah.
The third
well,
step is universal,
Yes.
basically polishing
Yeah.
or for finishing
Yes.
off.
Yes, but the only difference would be you don't want to use a pad that you took stains off for your final step of scratch removal. Okay, so you mark your pads. You take a Sharpie pen and you write on it. Like I have a polisher that says polish only because it's got a vibration to it, and I wouldn't want that vibration coming out while I'm trying to remove scratches. But I did 47 windows at a Drive Shack, one of these golf places, and I used the same entire pad the same exact time. Now I took that pad and I brought it with, and I probably left that one with you, TJ. So once it did scratch removal, it can go and then be used for stain removal, but not the other way around, right? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because there's no contaminants in the pad that only did scratch removal versus one that's going to pull stains out. It's nice to have a well worn in pad. So I always have 2 or 3 pads that look like they should be thrown out, but I'm not throwing them out. I use them for other things. I'll cut them in half and use them to clean my abrasive pads when I'm cutting glass. I mean, it's such an efficient way to do it, and this stuff is not expensive. You understand what
Right.
I'm saying? To where it's easy to make thousands and thousands of dollars off a bottle of polish.
I mean, I know this sounds like the fucking the slap chop fucking infomercial, but it ain't, man. It's legit, dude. It's legit, man. Hey, Seth, Ryan Heisler said, Seth, do you always take chandeliers down when you clean? I was asking about that in the group the other day, and they said absolutely not happening. I think I'm pricing them around $75 per, if not too dirty.
Well, that's too low if you're taking them apart. To me, do you want to be the best at it, or you want to just do a half-ass job at it?
And that's
To
the
me-
way I would sell it. That's the way I
To
would
me,
sell it.
I do about 300 to 400 chandeliers a year.
Yeah.
Legitimately, I've been doing it for about 10 years. You take pictures. For me to do it right, if you ever want, it's like Mark. I get all repeat work just from people I've done the work for.
Right.
Because chandelier is a very, very niche. You can fuck shit up real quick.
I do a
Right,
chandelier.
break it $300.
I do a
You know?
chandelier in a bank once a year. That's fucking 500 pieces of fucking shit you gotta take off. You know what I mean? I do it. I do it row by row by row. I lay all my. I got a sheet that I lay down
Yep.
on the ground,
Yep.
and row by row by row
I do
I
the
lay it.
same.
I lay it down. I take them down, and set them on the ground the same way, you know, so everything's grouped together. So when I go to put it back together, I build it back going backwards.
Yeah.
If you're not taking them apart, just tell them. If you don't want me to take them apart, I'll you know, do them as good as I can, because you need to take them apart.
If you're taking them apart, you have a bucket of hot soapy water and you have a bucket of pure water, and you rinse them out in the soapy water, you wipe them down, you put them in the, for me, you put them in the pure water and you lay them out on like I usually use like a 4x4 cloth tarp, because I can, you know, you can really see if anything's left on there.
Right.
But yeah, if you're gonna do it, go for it. You know, I mean, if you've got, I think I had messaged him and he had 8. You can probably get $950 for that.
Fuck yeah, dude. Hey, dude. Hey, I get $1,200 every time I take that chandelier apart.
Yeah. Yeah, so, and the ones you were showing me were a little smaller, and I'd say probably the 8 put together were probably close to the one that it sounds like you're doing.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I've only done in 30-something years of window cleaning, I've done one chandelier, and that belongs to my mom, because she bugged me, right. And my sister was a smoker growing up, and she's like, I'm sure you know how to clean this chandelier. And you know what I did? Because I've heard of stuff you can spray on it and let it dry, and she has about 40 crystals on her chandelier. I just went up there, and they have the open hooks. I took all of them down. I hung them in the dishwasher. I put nothing else in the dishwasher, and I ran that Cascade or Jet Dry in it. 2 hours later, we come back from lunch, just hold them by the wire. They look beautiful.
Right.
But I've never done a chandelier.
Yeah, that's Seth. Me and Seth do it the same ways, except for I lay down a sheet. But you know, I'm gonna get a tarp. I'm gonna get a tarp though, because that's a way better. A cloth painter's tarp is what you're using.
The cloth tarp, the 4x4 cloth tarp, you can buy them for like $2.
Yep.
And I honestly, after like 10 chandeliers, I throw them away, and then I get one.
But I mean, it's I mean, you can get them, you know, decent, but man, you're really risking fucking something up. You know, take that into account when you are cleaning that while it's hanging in the fucking air. Take into account, there's a chance you could, you know, it may not turn out the way you want it to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, basically, they're brass, and you hit them with brass polish.
Yeah.
And once you have everything down from it, and to me, buy light bulbs. Don't bother fucking cleaning them. Don't bother anything. Change them out.
Yep.
Find out what they are to the store and change them all.
Fucking Seth dropping that knowledge, but I usually,
but you can make your money at it.
Usually, what I do is if I bid one, and I only do that one for the bank, you know, on a regular basis. But when I do price them out, normally, guys, I normally just take a picture and I bring the light bulbs with me. I don't even charge them. That's just, you know, I mean. Of course, that's built into the cost, but as far as they know, I'm giving you new light bulbs. I'm going to change the light bulbs, too.
Yeah, don't bother trying to clean them. Don't bother doing any of that shit. Because you get water in those things, and you are fucked.
Right.
You're going to blow something.
Hey, I'm going to... Seth, or TJ, I don't know if you've ever seen a chandelier like this, but one of the ones I was once asked about was that I cleaned a PGA National Resort, and they had a spiral staircase, and in the middle of that staircase was this chandelier that had probably 75 little skinny pieces of cable hanging down, and then threaded on that cable were these little glass spheres, looked like Christmas balls.
Oh, no shit.
But the wire ran through them, so they're open at the top, open at the bottom, and then they had a little clip that attached them to the wire, and then the lights were up, recessed into the top. So when it lit it up, all these little glass globes looked beautiful. And then occasionally you could see where one was missing, where they were glass, threw something and maybe they hit together and broke. Well, those things over time, because they're lit, started to get that sticky dust on them. And they're like, we got something we want you to look at. Now, the only nice thing was underneath was a planter. So you could probably take a pump sprayer with, you know, some kind of solution. But I looked at that thing and I was like, Richie's got a very valid point. The best way to do chandeliers is the same approach to water-fed pole work, which is to have someone else do it.
I agree totally. It's one of those you have to have OCD to really want to do it.
Yeah, you gotta have. Yeah, it's gotta really bother you to want to do them. It's gotta be very profitable, and you need to have fucking insurance.
Oh my God! Yes,
you need to have insurance, because I broke one.
It's not covered. It's not covered. So don't think because you have window cleaning insurance, you're covered on chandelier work.
No,
you're not. You need to call your insurance company before you even start anything like that. It's, you know, if you have if you're going to do one, I wouldn't bother. But if you're going to go after it, get insurance for it.
Yeah.
Because if you break one of those fuckers, you're paying anywhere between low end $500 to
I carry
the ones that drop down are $5,000, $6,000, $10,000 chandeliers.
I carry a little rider just for that job. I just, you know what I mean? It only costs me $15 extra a month. You know what I mean? So what's that like?
Yeah, but you see, you go into a ballroom at a clubhouse and you clean those 8 chandeliers and you do something no one else does. You have the window cleaning there. You have the gutter cleaning there. You have everything. Like Mark said with resurfacing glass, like you own them now.
Yeah.
They're not calling anybody else.
They're not calling nobody else. Yeah. Like this fucking guy is the Wizard of Glass. You know what I'm saying? And if you want to be in the secret, the sacred order of the squeegee, you got to go to www.patreon.com/squeegee life, or we ain't telling you shit. Yeah, we ain't giving you guys no tips. No, I'm just kidding. You guys are getting all the tips, man. That's what's cool about this podcast, man. Everyone looks at us and they see what we're doing and they're like, you know what, man, I can do this too. And da-da-da-da-da. But this is legit and we're not trying to sell you nothing besides support. If you guys want to support us, you can go to Patreon and do that. You can buy a fucking t-shirt from me. You can fucking buy some of Mark's polish. You know what I mean? You can fucking give... You can buy Seth some beer. But, we're fucking like legit. We're here to help, man. And I know we get people look at us and they see like the dick jokes and the farting and the bad words and they think that that's all it is, the good shit. But it isn't. We're here to help too, man. We got, you guys, we've told you guys countless times, AskTSqueegee@yahoo.com. You know where to send fucking questions. You know what I mean? You got questions, you watch this live on YouTube like you got a lot of people are doing right now. Ask questions, we'll answer. We're not just farts and dick jokes. We wish we were just farts and dick jokes, but I guess we can tell you some window cleaning shit too. And in this case, chandelier cleaning. I think a lot of people in the window cleaning industry, a lot of folks don't really try to offer high dusting and shit like that. I do a lot of homes with homes with big chandeliers comes homes with big vaulted ceilings. Yeah. And I've on many occasions I'll go in a house, I'll be doing the inside and I'll look up and I'll see that and she won't say nothing to me about it. And I'll go outside, I'll grab the high dusting fucking little cobweb duster, stick it on the end of my Zero Trad 20 and run it down and get all her cobwebs down. And she's happier than pigs and shit. And then next year she pays me for it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
She's like, well, what I owe you for that? I was like, this one's free. The next one's on you. This is on me. Next one's on you.
I feel like sometimes I get hired. I have a lady who gets her windows cleaned twice a year. And I almost think it's only because she wants me to dust the fan and change out the batteries.
Right, in the smoke detectors.
Because I'm the guy who'll do it. Yeah. And I feel like she calls me when the batteries are done, like, oh, can you clean the windows? And I basically the batteries.
I love it when Seth comes with that big apron.
He comes over, Mark, will you come over and do my insides?
And I saw his scrotum last time.
I can totally see you downstairs, Seth.
Those balls are $150 an hour, man. No, I'm sorry to tell you.
I can see your ball bag, Seth. Yeah. I love it when you change my batteries. I can see your ball bag. I can totally see you whole downstairs.
He's so well groomed.
Seth, are you gonna come do my insides?
Got a couple stragglers there. Let me help you out.
Oh fuck. Serious question for Mark. Lately, hair has been growing rampant from my ears. Do you have a tip to prevent this growth?
Yeah, stop eating those hogs between the legs.
Yeah. Dude, there is no cure for that, man. Because I used to get on my grandpa's shit. My papaw leg, God rest his soul, I miss you every day, sir. But he had, and Jennifer, she's probably not watching, but if Jennifer was watching, she'd tell you, that man's ears... I've never seen... Dude, his ears grew hair like fucking like...
Yeah.
Like in 2 days. Like my grandfather could shave in the morning and then in the evening have a 5 o'clock shadow on. I'm not just... I mean that dude, shit.
My wife has made me crazy about that. She'll be like, you got old man hair coming out of your ears. So I get crazy about it. I'll be sitting at a red light. You know that point right before the hole in your ear.
Yeah.
I get like a long straggler on
too,
that.
me too.
So I'll sit at a red light, dude,
And
and I'll grab it with my fingers and squeeze it, and I yank it out, dude, and it'll bring a tear to my eye. It hurts like a motherfucker.
I just had my first old man experience this year. I was getting a haircut, and the barber goes, "Do you want me to trim those eyebrows for you?" And I was like, "Fuck, they're that bad, man?" I look like an owl.
Listen, dude. I'm telling you, my grandfather's ears, like he could hear better after, because we had attachments and shit to stick inside his fucking ear and hog that shit out of there, and then you'd have to like blow it out of his ears. I mean, my grandma used to take the vacuum cleaner and stick it in his ear hole and suck I mean, dude, it's so that's how, I mean, like as thick as your fucking beard, Seth. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding, dude. Inside of his ear cap, it was the most fuck. I was like, dude, I hope that ain't me. But now I'm starting to see, every once in a while, I'll catch a couple of robot fucking antennas sticking out of my ears. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck?
You got
like fucking curb feelers.
Yes, I do. I've got my.
You look like, because you grow facial hair like someone who's half Irish, half Native American.
That's me.
Like, you get ear and here.
Yeah.
And you lose the hair, but you get like no body hair. Is my guess.
Yes.
I got an American friend. That's
yes.
he's
My
bald.
my grandma's my grandma's grandma was a full-blooded Cherokee Indian. Like, no bullshit. I got pictures of her. I'll post them on here, because a lot of white guys say that shit, but I mean it.
Yeah.
And the other half, and my grandfather, he's from the Highlands, you know what I mean? We're Scotch-Irish. I think more Irish than Scotch-Irish, but, you know.
I'm Scottish as fuck.
I can connect this. It gets a little weak right here. You know what I mean? It gets a little weak right.
You get wispy right here.
It gets
right
wispy.
Here,
yeah,
right?
yeah. And everything else is like, you know, just like patches. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have any hair on my legs. I don't have any hair on my arms, my back, anywhere else. Just that's it. I can't grow hair. I barely have underarm hair. I don't know, man. It's been that way my whole life.
As my mom says, I have immigrant arms. So I get so much hair. She's like, who the hell are you? You get like that, like you want a pizza
my Aunt
shop.
Jackie and Aunt Tammy, they have immigrant feet. Like, they got them fucking like rock breaking feet. Like, they could like run up and kick a boulder like Flintstone feet.
They're the rock guy from Never Ending Story.
Them feet is fucking like Ninja Turtle feet, man. Them motherfuckers, like, you can hang from a branch with those bitches.
Yeah, great for climbing trees.
Hey, and there's no question, you probably didn't notice it, but my Aunt Tammy is probably running around my birthday party without shoes on. She hillbilly as fuck, boy.
You know, I for years I was going to get haircuts with my kids, like at Supercuts or, you know, one of them kind of places. And then one day I just pulled into this barber shop right next to some stores I clean, and I actually went to solicit him, you know, and he's like, well, we got a guy who comes around every now and again. I'm like, all right, well, I'm here anyway, give me a haircut. So, dude, all of a sudden I sit down. They were all Latins, right? All Spanish, old guys. I mean, no one in there was less than 65 years old. And the guy puts the towel on me, and he trims my eyebrows with a comb and my ears and all that. And I'm like, man, this is pretty good service. Then all of a sudden, he's got this old school hot lather dispenser on the desk there. It looked like it was 100 years old. He puts the hot foam on my face, takes a straight edge razor and shaves me down. And I'm like, motherfucker, fuck that Supercut shit, man.
Yeah, if you're a man, you got to go to a barbershop.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Half the time I get a haircut to clean up my fucking Neanderthal neck that connects to my back hair.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
my kids still go to like a Supercuts type thing, because they sent Keiko's take the boys for a haircut. I got one a flat top and the other I got a high and tight. They both look like really bad cancer patients.
Yeah, I just buzzed my shit off. This happened on accident once.
Oh, did you shave it and it didn't come back?
No. I meant to. I was like, you know what? I wanted to get a haircut. I didn't have a lot of money. I was like, fuck it. I'm just gonna buzz my head. You know what I mean? I need to get this hair off me. It's hot. And then I was like buzzing myself, and the clipper attachment came off, and I fucking gouged myself. I was like, so I just buzzed it all down.
That's what happened to me at 22.
Seth, do you like your new
I-
work shirts? Thanks for
Okay.
sticking up for me. I mean, fucking Jason, why you always gotta bring up the most awkward
Yeah,
shit?
I mean, he heard earlier.
Yeah.
They're coming. I'll get them soon. I'll model them for you, Jason.
Yeah,
I'll-
well,
Yeah,
this is
I
the
think
thing.
you
We
should
used
say,
a new
Jason-
film on those shirts, and some of the guys
do a Mark
got.
Darnell.
Yeah.
Do a Mark Darnell directly into
Yeah.
Jason's face. Got a bowling pin laying around?
Chicken and peas.
Yeah,
Dog.
chicken and peas.
Oh my God.
For those
That
of
video is still
the,
disturbing.
that's still disturbing. I wish we could. I wish it was still out there, man.
Yeah, I think I might have it.
Chicken and peas was probably the best video I've ever seen in my life.
I don't remember where I saw that. I
It
can't
was in
remember.
the-
Like I know you sent it to me, but I don't remember.
I warned you first. I was like, I don't want you to think I'm gay or not, but you got to see this, dude.
I had to be honestly like the fact that
I'm not coming on to you, Seth.
or as fucked up as that dude is, and that was the best I've ever
I
seen.
fucking love him, dude. Yeah, we're just a little, we've gone through the shirts. This is the thing that happened. We used a new film, like a lighter weight film for the sleeves of the Patreon shirts, and a couple of guys washed them and they fucking rolled it rolled off. So, we just double checked. We made sure that Seth's shirts were okay. He'll be getting them soon. We just want to make sure because we didn't. Jennifer. I mean, she feels like shit about your guys' shirts. I got to tell you guys. You probably just think it's whatever, but Jennifer is that type of person. It like bothers her that she sent that and that happened. So I've offered to replace them, but no one has taken us up on it. So I mean, it's still there. If you guys wash it, it comes off. We will replace it. No problems, no questions asked. We're sweethearts like that. We just want everyone to be happy. So, but we're just never going to use that film. I just won't use it no more. You know what I mean? I'm just not going to ever use it again. Fuck it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I actually I actually sent them an email about it because it was kind of like, I mean, I paid extra because for the material. You know what I mean? I paid extra for it. It was supposed to be like holographic. I was like, oh man, this would be cool, a little sleeve piece. I just bought, like maybe 5 yards of it or whatever, and not too much, but enough. And it was still it was more pricey than 10 yards of the regular shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost double priced. I thought, man, this will be cool, and it did not fucking work like I wanted it to. So, but all you Patreon guys will be getting another Patreon shirt gift from me in a couple of months. So
I'm going to give my boy TJ a plug here. I will tell you one thing: the customer service end of it is incredible. TJ's been in contact. Jen sounds like she's the most OCD person ever. If you're ordering shirts, is great for you.
Well,
the
listen.
fact that she's putting that much care and time into them
Listen.
makes a big difference. And I did a dumb, huge order.
Yeah, dude.
But
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, whatever. Here
It's
you
like
go, man.
fucking, like, there's like literally like 70 pounds of fucking shirts. And you got the deal in a fucking week.
I did. I'm not gonna tell
You
the
got
deal,
the,
but
you
have
got
to
the,
pay
you
for
hugged
it.
my wife discount, motherfucker. So
Yeah.
Jennifer's a hugger.
Tell your wife not to be so nice to me.
Jason said he hasn't had an issue with his shirt. This is the thing. Not all of those we did, like, not everybody got the same shirt. Like, some of you guys got a unique blend of shirt. There was a unique blend of shirts we sent out. Some had the holograph on the sleeves, some didn't. Some were all gold, some were all silver. They were all different. We wanted to make them different and unique. You know what I mean? Because you guys are different and unique. So you thought maybe you get something that you posted on the internet, like, oh, I didn't get that, I got this. You know what I mean? But whatever. You know what I mean? I try to make shit cool, like this hard body karate shirt, because we're always talking about hard body karate. The only thing is, this is like a demo shirt, and she just made this in like 2 hours. So, because I got my Facebook account back tonight, and I wanted to be able to, because I ain't been able to share anything on Squeegee Life page at all for a month. You know what I mean? It's been dead. So I can't add, I've been wanting to work on adding the store. I got a Shopify account I've had for almost a year, and I ain't fucking used it yet. Jennifer's got to get on there and figure it out, because I'm not smart enough. But there will eventually be, you can click on a shirt where we're going to, like this, I'm going to try to make a line of shirts, like, like this will probably be something. This is hard body karate, guys. We always talk about, you know what I mean? That's fucking, shit is dope. It's dope. It's a dope ass shirt. You know, I
You
really
need
like
Joe
it.
Diaz doing all those kicks.
yeah. Hey, trust me. But eventually, I want her to move this over just a little bit. I want it to be over. I want it to be right on the top of my titty, not to because it makes my titties look bigger. I don't like the way, so I want it to scoot. She said she'd scoot it over for me. Whatever, man. I got big tits, man.
I mean,
I'm big upstairs.
Some-
Even when I only weighed like 155 pounds, I still looked like I'm big. We're big people upstairs. We're like barrel chested people. You know, we're just big upstairs. I can't.
If you're Scotch Irish, you have a barrel chest.
Yeah,
and usually you're only 5'7". But
I'm 5'11", motherfucker.
yeah, no, same. My dad is fucking short as fuck. My brother is. It's a line of short people who think they can fight everybody.
Yeah. I'm that guy. I would think I could fight everybody. Like I whoop that motherfucker's ass. That's the way I go into it.
He thinks he can fight anybody.
Yeah, that's the way I go into it. Usually I end up with like a fat lip and a fucking like a couple of stitches or something like that. But you know you was rolling around with me in the end of it. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
you still have to do something.
If I'm losing, I'm sticking my fucking finger in your eye to like the second knuckle. I'm not fucking playing. There ain't no man. Ask my dad. There ain't no rules. There ain't no rules. Wash it inside out, Jen says. After hearing that the sleeve might come off, I don't want it to come off. I like it so no places it under the glass and mine is silver and cool as hell. I don't know what the fuck Cameron just said right there.
You should wash all your shirts inside down anyways. That's where all the fucking stink is. I mean,
yeah, duh.
I wash my underwear inside out.
Well, you have to.
I do. You ever take
you know
your
what
underwear
I
off
do?
and throw it in the hamper?
Does anyone?
And no matter, dude, underwear is like a cat. It lands skid mark side up. No matter, you could fucking.
You ever not want to throw your underwear in the hamper because you're like, if anyone sees this is
embarrassing. Garbage.
Listen, does anyone?
It's hot. I had a meatball sub for lunch. It's not my fault.
Does anyone do this? I literally have 3 garbage bags, 35-gallon garbage bags in my house full of unpaired socks.
Oh, I throw those fuckers away.
When I need socks, I just go and buy new socks because Jennifer refuses to pair socks. She just won't do it. Like since the very first time we moved in together, she's never paired socks. So you guys know what I do? I take my socks off and then I just cuff the top of them. I put them together, cuff them together, and then she washes them. They come out together. You don't even have to pair them. I prepare my socks.
I used to go out in the garage because that's where my laundry room is, and stare at it every morning to find 2 of the same socks. I got tired of that. I threw all those socks away, and I went to the store and bought like 20 pairs of the exact same socks.
Right.
That's what I always have one pair of socks in the same.
Well, listen, this is the thing. When you have 5 people living in your house with 5 different size socks, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, you get caught with like a Jimmy Neutron sock. And
Jennifer and the girls, they'll wear 2 different kinds of socks. They don't give a
my
shit.
kids too. They wear 2 different colors.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
what the fuck? Yeah,
My daughters they'll have on the right foot a leopard print sock and the other one on like a fucking Kirby Puckett fucking sock.
Yeah.
I don't get it, man. I don't get it, but I like to have my shit matching, bro. I don't like, I'm old school. You know what I mean? I went outside to play. I like my socks to match and shit. When all you do is hang out in the house and fucking shoot zombies on Call of Duty, you know what I mean? It don't matter what kind of socks you got on.
When you rolled around with wearing a fresh pair of Air Force Ones, you need your socks to match.
Not my daughters. Not my daughters.
No.
Not my daughters. My daughter rocks the Air Force Ones, the high tops, and she don't. 2 different socks on. She don't care.
I feel like if you're a girl, you can kind of get away with almost anything.
Yeah, they're cute, so they get away with shit they shouldn't be getting away with. Mm-hmm. She said last time I checked, none of your hands are broken. They're not, Jennifer. They're not. She's right.
Dude,
I never complain about it. I just figured, I'm like, you know what I say? I'm just going to pair these socks so she don't have to. I'll take them off. I'll put them together. She can admit that. I put them together. They wash. Sometimes they stay together. Sometimes they don't. You know what I mean? But whatever,
Yeah, I mean, I'm a psycho about that and I only do it myself because, I'm a weirdo about doing it. Like, I hang every shirt I own. Like, I won't fold it and put it in a drawer. My whole closet is just filled with my t-shirts.
Yeah, I hang all my t-shirts because I'm horrible at folding them anyway.
Are you guys t-shirt horse? Because Jennifer feels like I have too many T-shirts. Like
Yeah. I have more
yes,
shirts
I said Kirby Puckett
in the closet. I have more clothes hanging in the closet because I hang my T-shirts than my wife does. Oh yeah.
I have mostly. I even sorted my like shirts I've bought to the free T-shirts that I have.
That
Like,
closet behind me.
Free T-shirts.
This closet behind me with the two big 4x8 mirror doors. That's literally from one end to the other. I almost 95% T-shirts, like fucking crammed together. I've got so many T-shirts.
What are you wearing? My closet's filled with like 60 T-shirts and dress shirts.
Yeah,
like, that's all.
Well, Jennifer's like, why do you need all these clothes? Like, motherfucker, because I'm outside working all day in the cold. I gotta have like 7 layers of shit on, motherfucker. Goddamn. Yeah. I ain't like you and our daughters run around with fucking like barely any clothes on. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I can't live. You're like in and out of the cold. I'm standing in that shit all day. You know what I'm saying? Yep. And in the summertime, I'm sweating so much I gotta take a T-shirt off, put another one on halfway through the day.
I bring 2 T-shirts in the summertime.
Who the man is.
I sweat through the first one by about 10:30 in the morning.
Hey, listen, Jennifer. Hey, I am the fucking man. I'm the one that wears the fucking pants around here. She might lay them out for me.
Yeah.
But I fucking put them on and wear them. Yeah, I put them motherfuckers on. She might lay my clothes out for me, but I fucking put them on, so whatever. Motherfuckers. Everybody knows the lady's the boss of the house. That ain't, what the fuck are we talking about here? You know what I mean? Even back in the day when they say, I'm the man of the house. She might be the man of the house, but the lady's the one that tells where the bird shits, you know?
Yep.
I met her, she seemed to be the quiet boss.
Right.
Being like, you better not say anything stupid.
Right.
But
that was my grandfather's motto. You just sit there and keep your mouth shut. He goes, he's like, you want to know the key to a long-lasting marriage? And I'm like, what? He goes, just sit there and keep your mouth shut. That and this trick, where you sit in the chair next to her, if she's on the left or the right, just pick the eye and lean your chair back, and then when she asks you to take out the trash, you just act like you're sleeping. You can still watch TV, you know.
Real job, yeah.
My grandfather was a fucking piece of work, man. He was something else, dude. He always had those good golden nuggets of knowledge for you. You know what I mean? But yeah, does anyone? What's that? Most girls in Florida don't wear socks. I don't know. I still have shirts from high school hanging in the closet. Some of them are 25. Yeah, but Lewis Coatney, you're like Mark. You can wear the same size clothes you wore when you were 5 years old, you fucking little tykes ass motherfuckers. Knowing damn well Lewis is sitting at his little tyke's desk right now eating fucking Grananimal crackers and shit.
my shirts are starting to look like tarps.
Yeah.
I'm the head of the household too, but she's the neck which turns the head whichever direction it goes. Jason, you're married? We didn't know you were married. Jason keeps everything secret.
Yeah, Jace, let's see a picture of that old lady. What's up with you?
Yeah.
Well, that's because there's government conspiracy.
The government. I don't want my wife on the internet, so I don't want him to get her face recognition.
I still think of Jason Leman as Mel Gibson from the movie Conspiracy.
I do too.
Where he has a trap door to get out at any point in time.
I still see him as Buffalo Bob. It puts the lotion on the skin. You have any idea what I can do to you?
Wait, was she a great big fat person?
That's hilarious, dude.
Oh,
so does anyone have any questions? Again, if you guys go to windowcleaner.com and you find their phone numbers, you might be able to call them, or you could call Jordy yourself at 862-312-2633 and mention the Squeegee Life podcast, and they'll give you 10% off a zero pull from now till spring. So you guys, the time is running short.
Does Mark have a boat?
No, I have a little boat I bought for my kids. It's a 14-foot John boat with a 10-horse little outboard on it.
But, dude finally changed his name. You wanna woohoo? Changed his name to Very Detailed Window Cleaner. Finally.
That's better than woohoo.
Yeah, whatever the fuck his name was. Yeah, but why don't you have a boat, Mark? I've always wanted to know that. Why you don't have a boat? You're in the.
My early career out of high school was boat mechanics.
Uh-huh.
And I spent a lot of time on the water doing sea trials and repairs. And I love anything with an engine, but I I can't afford to have the projects that I do, the trucks and the bikes and everything, and a boat. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
So
your boat spends more time out of the water than it does in it.
yeah, and you know what boat
You
stands
matter.
for, right? Bust out another 1,000, because even if you work on them yourself, they're expensive to maintain. I mean, I like to fish. I'd like to have a nice little ocean boat, you know, but it's just not in the cards right now. I got a few other things
Okay,
that
Mark.
I got to attend.
Jason's asked this question 15 fucking times, and we've told the answer 15 times. He wants to know when your polish is coming out.
Well, I'm hoping that, according to what I've discussed with Maker, we should be able to have it out within the next 6 to 8 months, which would be, you're going to get the liquid polish, you're going to get a powder that goes with the liquid to basically supercharge it. You're going to get a pad for applying the polish, a back plate that's going to go on your polisher, and we might even, if we can spring a deal, we might even have some polishers. But right off the bat, and that's with, you got to understand, aside from manufacturing the polish, there's certain things that have to go on the label, you know, such as if you ingest it, you have to call this number. So all that,
You know, like what, an MSDS
yeah,
sheet?
yes, it's gonna have to have MSDS. Okay, you know, it's not like I'm gonna fill bottles and just send them out to people. I have to do it the right way.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Not like your barbecue sauce.
Right.
I mean, your rub.
No,
The rub, yeah.
no. That should have been done that way too.
Yeah, it should
We
really
just sent
have.
that shit out. We just sent that shit out to guys.
Yeah.
That shit's good
Yeah,
though. I
yeah.
still got some of it.
Yeah, I keep a big batch. So, hey, I have a news story, and due to the fact that Henry's still here, this story caught my eye.
Okay.
And I think Joe, in some of his recent videos, has some kind of knife or something on his wall all of a sudden. So Joe's shopping at the for knives now. So, okay, so this story is called "A Naked Guy with a Sword Subdued After Threats." Here's something you don't see every day: a man screaming at people in a parking lot and waving a 3-foot-long sword while naked. The incident took place at an apartment complex in Atlantic Beach, Florida. Saturday, one witness tells M.A. Moss the man charged at a passerby. Luckily, a good Samaritan was on standby. A man was there that was in the Navy. I think he kind of subdued the guy and eventually got him to drop the sword, then tackled him to the ground and waited for the cops to come. Witnesses said police aren't saying much about the incident, and it's not known if the man has been charged. So it's a short story, but a naked man with a sword.
A naked man with a sword.
Florida. It's in Florida. So
Of course it's in Florida.
It was that's probably fucking where Henry's been for the last couple of weeks. It was probably fucking Henry. He probably finally fucking snapped. He's running around
Underneath
fucking
all the
naked.
power lines messes with your brain.
Right.
man.
Well, Ryan Heisler, most of these chandeliers that you're able to take apart, it's going to be really obvious that they come apart. If
There's going to be a hook.
yeah, they're going to be hooks. Now, if it's something that's wired together or something like that, then it might be up Schitt's Creek and might not be able to take it apart. You know what I mean? So it might not be the type of chandelier you can take apart.
I feel like that's a very small. I mean, based off of
And
did
cheap.
anyone see the picture he showed?
If you see a chandelier that you can't take apart and clean, it's a cheap fucking hunk of shit from Lowe's.
Yeah. Walk away from it.
Walk
Don't
away
do
from
it.
it. Yeah, don't do it.
Not every job is equal.
Yeah,
but
right. Most chandeliers that you're going to want to provide a service for cleaning them for will be able to be taken apart. Like a lot of the houses that I do have large, tall foyers, and they've got a switch on the fucking wall that lowers the motherfucker to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The guy that wants you to clean his chandelier has got money. And you know what I mean? He's got the money to pay you to clean it, don't want to clean it, and it's most likely going to be able to be taken apart. But I take mine apart and wash them like Seth does. Hot soapy water, dunk them in, give them a nice jiggle, then a nice jiggle in the post rinse, and then lay them out to dry, and then you can see what's wrong, what's not wrong with them.
I've never done chandeliers, but maybe Seth can answer this, or UT.
No, go ahead, Seth.
Would it be beneficial in that final rinse to use pure water or distilled water, like from
that's
your?
what I use pure
Yes.
water. I just bring like a 5-gallon bucket with me, so I'll put it up in the shop, and I think it works the best for me, I don't know if TJ does this too. I get the water where I can almost not put my hand in it. It's that hot.
Yes.
To kind of dissolve whatever's on there. Like you said, it gets
Hot
sticky.
water. Yeah, you want
And I just drop it in there for like maybe 5 minutes,
Mhm.
take it out, put it a real good rinse in the DI, like your DI water, pure water, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
And
That's
the best results
I just took my cart is on the back of the truck. I just run some pure water in one bucket. I take another bucket in that way because after a while your clean water is going to get a little dirty, so you toss that out, add a little more water to it, just so it's a consistent rinse, and let them dry and hang it back up the way you. It's like I said, it's easy money, man. Done
So
right.
I say it's safe to assume you don't want to handle the crystal at all. You want to hold them from the wires, maybe make some.
Nah, yeah, you
something
need to put
hang
on.
'em.
Yeah, you need. Yeah, well, you want to fucking put them on that. Yeah, you want to wear sissy gloves.
Why I think the dishwasher work for Mark is like it's so hot. Like the hotter it is, the less to touch it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It just kind of melts off. What's
Well,
on.
that's the thing. I did that for my mom. You can't go to someone's house and go, I'm going to put your shit in the dishwasher. But it does work good.
Right.
I mean,
Just hot soapy, like super hot soapy water, man. Just like you're making a bucket of window juice. I actually, I make it just like it's my window, just a hot bottle. I throw a little. I got ammonia in my water. I can't help it. It's just part of my life. I'm gonna die from ammonia, Posey.
I'm addicted to ammonia now.
It's the
I
best.
tell you that once you start using ammonia,
Yeah. Hey, listen.
yeah.
Listen, I used to,
Never clean a window if you put ammonia in the water.
Nothing wakes me up better in the morning than fucking putting that ammonia in the water. There's nothing whoa, snap right to
You ever
it.
smoking a cigarette while doing it? Just pop like a maniac. I'm gonna fucking pass out right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I'm addicted. Ever since Mark told me to go to Ace to grab it,
So
I'm
people
like,
are
man,
really.
I got like 5 gallons sitting at the shop right now.
Stuff's the
I
best.
buy it by the case. I just go into Ace, like the Ace the Ace Hardware that I have here. They only sell the little tiny bottles. You know what I mean? The half size.
Yeah, the gallon ones. Or,
No,
do they do
no,
half gallon?
Like the
the
half
pints or
they're
something.
pints. It's
Yeah.
a pint. They sell a pint
okay.
of it. And I'm like,
Fortunate
can
for me, they
you
sell
get
the
me?
gallons here.
Yeah, well, I was like,
Yeah,
can
me
you
too.
get me gallon jugs? And they were like, we can order them. And I was like, yeah, just order me a case. I'll buy a whole case in gallon jugs. Man, that shit. There's a lot of people out there when you say you use ammonia, they're just fucking like, you can't use that. Why not, man?
It's on the glass for what, 10 to 20 seconds?
Like,
I
yeah.
mean, like, what damage does it get?
Yeah, are you wetting
doesn't do
windows
damage.
and going to lunch and then coming back? What do you? I mean,
Ammonia evaporates as a gas. Okay, so it's not damaging anything. The older it is, the more times the jar has been open. If you notice, those caps, especially on the gallon ones, are vented because over time the ammonia is losing its strength. You know what I'm saying? It's just natural.
Bleach, anything like that. Like you
Yeah,
can't.
exactly.
dollar store
bleach
ammonia
it-
is shit. You got to go
Yeah.
to
No,
you got to
you
go
gotta
to
go-
Ace Hardware and get that fucking
Yeah.
like that double strength. That shit is
I think it's
way
like
more
commercial
potent.
janitorial or some shit like that.
How
on
many
there.
what's the
Yeah,
percentage?
it's like 11%.
Yeah, I'll show you guys right now.
It's the best shit I've ever used. Literally, I
There's
have to
a
use
fresh
my
gallon for that ass,
There you
son.
go. Yeah.
Right there,
Yep.
1 gallon.
Yeah.
It is
I go that gallon about once a month at this point.
Yeah.
10%. 10%.
10%.
Yep,
Yep.
10%.
The stuff you buy in the store is like 1%. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like buying like Clorox to buying pool shop.
Yeah, and
It's
you
not-
don't.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. This. That's a very
Dude,
good analogy.
You just need an ounce of that in a bucket of water. And like TJ does a lot of Wendy's and fast food, handprints run. Handprints
well, you
just
got to add a
melt.
little more. You can't be scared. You don't
I
listen to
mean,
Mark. I don't measure. I just be
I
glue,
need
glue, glue.
3 to 4 ounces. I don't measure it. I just go,
Yeah, me too, dude. Yeah, I judge by the smell. I judge by the smell. Like, ooh, that's enough.
You get a real whiff of that water, a couple squirts of joy.
That
or
shit'll
whatever the fuck
open you up,
use.
brother.
Yeah.
Hey, if your nose is stuffed up, that shit'll open your ass up.
Well, I was cleaning windows today that are they actually had a name etched in it that said John Smith 1823 on the glass I was cleaning today, and I didn't have to use a white pad because I used ammonia. I just scrubbed it on, let it sit for about 10-15 seconds. Perfect.
Does it stain clothes? I
Well,
wear
another
Gucci.
thing, if
I
you
don't.
use
I don't
ammonia-
think so.
If you use ammonia and keep your brass channels in that bucket, they will shine.
Yeah, yeah.
They will shine.
Yeah.
Mine looks
Shine.
nice.
This shit
Yeah,
was
mine
shine,
looks
son. Yeah. I've been getting hounded by not Jacob Williams. I'll say his name because he's always commenting on the podcast. But several people about the orange towels. They just will not let the orange towels
well, wait a
go,
minute,
man.
T. I'm going to say something.
Go
I
ahead.
watched your video the other day, and you're driving down the road, and you know what everybody, including me, saw?
What?
That big bundle of orange towels stuffed between the seats. It stands out like a dick in a pickle jar.
How do you like those? Like,
Listen, man.
is it okay to
Nothing
ask?
better.
Listen, there's nothing better. There's
I
not a
don't care what
towel on the
anybody
market better.
says.
But where do you get them?
I can't tell you.
Yeah,
I can't tell you.
I'm
they're
so-
going to be available.
Hey, listen,
Yeah,
me and Mark are gonna sell them fucking towels. God damn it.
yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Anyone use the green towels?
Huh?
Wow,
I
dude.
love the green towels.
Dude,
Listen,
you will
bro.
take that fucking green towel and
And
wipe your
wipe it
asshole
and then
with
throw
it.
it
when
away.
Yeah,
you're-
but I have 85 pounds of them.
It doesn't
so-
matter.
I don't. Yeah,
You're gonna
using
get
for sills.
Hey, well,
Yeah.
you're. Hey, yeah. That's what I use my blue towels are fucking muck towels now. I don't
Still,
even.
yep, yeah.
Yeah, I used to
Yep.
be. I used to like scrims and the big fish scale towels, but after Mark gave me the white ones, I was like, man, I need more of these. And then Mark found the orange ones, and I was like, ooh, them shits is the shits. And them
now-
Well, I
motherfuckers
gave you the
is-
white ones, and dude, the white ones
Are
The white
good.
ones are twice the price of the orange ones.
Uh-huh.
Okay, because I had to buy those from Auto Geek, and they're $6 a piece. $6 for each one. Then I found the orange ones, and I paid
They're even better.
about less than half.
They're better
Okay,
though.
but- yeah, they're better.
They're
and
better.
Well, TJ said the first thing when he got the white ones, he goes, "Yeah, they wipe good, but the problem is they're white. Their problem is they're white." And then I'm like, when I went to the guy that I get the orange ones from, I gave him a white one. I said, "Can you get this?" And he goes, "I've never seen one like this." He goes, "But let me do some research. I'll call you." The guy called me like a week later. He goes, "I can get them for you. There's one problem." And I go, "What's that?" And he goes, "They're not white, they're orange." And I go, "That ain't a problem."
Yeah, that's not a
Yeah.
problem.
And he goes, "Do you want a couple for a sample?" I go, "No, get me a case of them." Sent me a case, which is 12 dozen. And I'm gonna get more, and we're gonna start selling these
Yeah,
motherfuckers.
Mark's
Let's just
gonna
be
get
done
a
with it.
fucking. We're gonna get a couple cases.
Yeah.
He's gonna ship
Dude,
them to me.
I
I'm
could
gonna put
get-
Squeegee Life on them, and then we're gonna
Yeah.
sell them to you guys for triple the price.
I will guarantee you that is something. No, seriously, I'm saying this with all seriousness. That is something I would sell to someone and say, if you don't think it's the best towel you ever want,
Go
send
fuck
it back
yourself.
and we'll give you your money
Yeah,
back.
go fuck yourself.
Go fuck
Put
yourself.
it back in the package and give it back to me. I'll give you what you paid for, because I love them, man. I love them. Like I said, I got a mound of them, dirty in the back of the truck. It just makes
I
me
know, I
happy.
saw those-
Every time I drop the tailgate, I'm like, fuck yeah, orange towels, motherfucker.
And you know what the nice thing about those orange towels? You could drop them in the bushes and drive by 2 days later and find them.
Yeah,
They're
like,
still,
there it is.
they got a beacon. Beep, 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 beep.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh, I
they're-
got a question too. Does TJ or Mark, do you guys have the Triton belt?
I do.
Yeah, I do. I do.
We both
How do you
tested
like
the
it?
Trident.
'Cause I want to
Good.
buy one, but I wanted to check first.
It's
Man.
a good belt.
I don't know what to tell
once
you,
you
man.
get used to the
It's-
on and off with it, because the release is tight when it's brand new. But yeah, it's nice and soft, and I absolutely have no issue with it. I think it's a good belt.
It's
Mark, do you wear a belt when you do commercial work?
now.
Yeah.
it
Oh
does.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I know a lot of guys who are just basically like maybe don't even really wear a bucket on the belt.
Dude, my employees, two of my high-rise guys will not wear a belt if you gave it to them, and I've tried. And I'm like, you've got to keep walking back to your bucket. I go around the corner. I got my belt. I got blades. I got a pocket knife. I got a Leatherman. I never have to walk back. So
I
I've
think
learned.
that's the product of being a commercial guy too. High-rise guys are a different breed. I mean, I worked with
Well, not only that. I mean, I would. You go back to the way you were taught. My father taught me. He'd wear a leather belt. I'm not kidding you, dude. You're gonna laugh. He would take a spoon out of a restaurant, right? That we would clean. He would steal a spoon and he would bend it like this, right? So it would
hold this.
yes, to put towels on,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Because they didn't have all these fancy things at that time. And then he used to go to a shoemaker and have a leather holster made. And then he used to take a piece of PVC, I think it was 1.5 PVC coupling, and he'd stuff it down, wet the leather holster. And the guy would make it out of a shoe bottom, so it was real thick leather. Not like this flimsy shit they sell now. Again, that was all before the bucket on a belt and the BOAB and everything else. But he would take a piece of PVC, he'd wet the leather, and he'd stretch it. And it would when it would dry, it would shrink around the PVC, so it always held open, and the back of it was stiff. And that's the way I learned. So I've always worn a belt. Even if If I'm in my lift with a full body harness on, I still put my belt around that. I have to open it up, obviously,
Right.
because I want my gunslinger. I want my, I want all my stuff on my hip.
Mhm.
So
It's not a
I think
gunslinger anymore. Tip jar.
the tip jar.
God
Yeah.
damn it.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, the Trident belt, it's a gangster ass belt, man. It's gangster, man. I'm chubby. When I bend over, it comes unsnapped. This doesn't do that.
Loops, like, so it's like if you lose or gain weight, you might be halfway in between like a loop on the belt. You know what I'm saying?
You can adjust it. Yeah, you can
It's
adjust it. You got to
adjustable.
open up one of those weird clamps
You
that
can,
you never
hey, you
figure
can
out how
like,
it goes back.
yeah, it goes
Yeah.
out to 50 inches. The extra, you get. There's two different sizes. There's
Yeah.
a large, medium, large, and there's a large, extra large. You know what I mean? But yeah, as far as the towels go, man, we're not gonna charge you guys 3 times the price. We're just fucking around. You know what I mean? Come on.
No.
Richie said
But
something.
as soon as I saw those
Microfiber
first
towels.
towels on 'em.
Yeah, microfiber towels get better the more you wash them, and you can't wash them too much. In other words, you don't have to replace them often.
I do.
I've
Wow.
had those towels for 6 months. I wash my towels generally every week to 10
Me
days.
too.
I have that many,
Me too.
and I fold them and put them in a carry-all in the back seat of my truck, and I'll wash them when 3/4 of them are gone, and they still are as good as the
They
day.
would,
Some
yeah.
of them have faded a little bit, but I wash them and I put them in the dryer just till they're almost dry, but they're not dry, which is 20 minutes in my dryer, and then I just hang them to dry, because I don't think you're supposed to really heat up microfiber too much.
That's my question, because I wash probably 100 to 200 rags a week.
Yeah.
My guys will use it for fucking 4 windows, throw it on the ground, and then
I mean, I've left them in to where they're completely dry and they haven't affected them, but you don't want them in there like as if it was a
On
comforter.
tiny,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
What's up, Chris? How you doing, buddy? Chris Johnson. You have to. That's our winner of the ticket to the huge convention. Right there.
That is going to be kicking.
You got to let us know if you're going to do
He's
that.
got a big surprise coming from me. I mean,
you
he
guys,
knows what it
you
is,
guys
but
bring your wife's, correct?
Yeah,
I'm bringing my wife. Yeah.
I'm bringing my girlfriend for 2 days.
we're only going to be there 2 days too.
Yeah.
I think I think it's like a Wednesday night and Thursday night. I think is what it is. The 27th and the 28th we're staying. I think that's what we're doing.
Yep.
That's what we discussed, right?
Yep.
The night before the trade show opens, and then the day of, and then leave the following day, like the
Yeah,
Saturday
boy.
or Friday or whatever it is. Because there's nothing worse than coming home Saturday or like late Saturday or getting home Sunday. Fuck that, and then have to go back to work. Nah, man, I'm good.
Yeah.
I need a little unwind time. I need a day to fucking like not do nothing, play with Jennifer's boobs and shit. You know, keep. Yeah, but man, I think it'll be fun, man. I'm hoping Richie and Hydrig come. That'll be cool. Mr. Tanner and Mrs. Tanner are going to be there. Mr. Gilbert and Mrs. Gilbert are going to be there. Seth Byers and
Yep.
I don't know her name, but Seth's sweetheart of a girlfriend. So yeah, it ought to be a good time, man. You know, because like Chris and Alex, they all bring their wives and stuff too. You know, I mean, it's not like an exclusive, like a boys trip or anything like that. And I think taking the girls will be fun. They'll be able to go do stuff together, and it'll be fun.
Yeah.
We can have.
Yeah,
I think we'll
it's
have a
been-
good time. I had a great time last year. The trade show is what it is. You know, you get to see cool stuff and walk around and check out what's new and check out things that you haven't tried out before and
It's a hangout.
press
It's
the
a hangout,
flesh.
man.
You know what I mean?
It's a hangout.
I didn't attend any of the classes, and I don't know if I will this year or not either. But there are also classes there. I will try to bring someone's wife also. Joseph Henry already said.
Joe. You know what? I gotta say this, Joe.
Oh, Henry's
You
gonna
know-
be there too. That's cool.
We bagged on you for a little while, but I kind of miss Joe Hardy. I'm glad that he's back around,
Yeah,
even though he does 74 videos every hour.
yeah.
Other than that, I mean, Joe.
They
Joe
got a fucking podcast now too on Saturday nights now.
Yeah,
Fuck
right.
him and Lewis. Get the
Joe-
fuck out of
Joe's a
here.
salty earth guy. I like Joe.
Yeah, I like Joe too. He's
a
alright.
pain in the ass with half of the shit he says, but I like.
Yeah, I like Joe
him.
too. I like Joe too. I'm just
Yeah,
a
there
little
is some
weirded out. Like,
in there.
first of all, we got 24 people watching and 10 thumbs up. That's fucked up. So that's fucked up. And then I'm just weirded out by everyone's doing a podcast now. I'm just weirded out by that.
Yeah.
Is it safe to say? Is it safe to say that us in Jersey are the fucking OGs, and you guys should kiss the fucking ring? I kind of feel like, you know what I mean?
Well,
like all these
what?
dudes are doing
I'll say
podcasts
this. Look,
now.
I'll say this. I mean, I remember I just kind of stumbled into the podcast. I had no plan from the beginning, but TJ and I, who barely knew each other prior to the podcast, I saw that there was it just gelled. You know, I knew that this was out of my comfort zone, to be honest, because I'm a very but I'm a private person though. I don't like to a lot of people in my business. I really don't. And this has helped me become a little more social or more open, you know. And so I said, well, you know, I did the podcast. I had a blast. I talked about a lot of experiences that I had. I think I knew that TJ enjoyed it, and at the time Tim was on and Josh, so it gelled, and then it turned into what we have here today. But my point is, we've done 133, 134 podcasts. It's still enjoyable, and people are still watching it. So what I say is, you know, the other podcasts, which I've watched a few of them, are very intense on whatever it is they're talking about, whether it's pressure washing or window cleaning. And that's all great, because that's the basic line of what we're here to do, to share some information. Hopefully somebody learns something and we can learn from each other. But the point is, what's going to happen after the 15th one? You know what I'm saying? Like I still say to myself, I look around and go, okay, I could share that on the podcast, or, you know, what are we going to talk about? It's not easy to talk for 2 hours and keep people wanting to listen to it,
right?
You know?
Right.
So, you know, what we got going here, and
Joe said he was doing videos before you guys. Oh, yeah, listen, this isn't a. I don't want you and Lewis to think this is a personal attack. I wouldn't have plugged your show on Saturday nights if it was. So relax. But this isn't necessarily Joe. I've actually said on this podcast several times that you were like one reason why I was like, man, I'm gonna say whatever the fuck I want. I want to do a podcast and I'm gonna say whatever the fuck I want. So, relax.
Yeah, I see, okay? Joe is hanging out with Phil. They did a nice little video. You know, Joe's not much taller than Phil.
I'm glad to see Joe embracing Philip, to be honest with you, because I don't really feel like Joe is been very adamant on about not being a fan of Philip. I mean, he's shit on Philip quite a few times, really mean to him, and it was kind of nice to see that they, you know, buried the hatchet. So, you know, that's cool. But yeah, man, you know, I'm not hating on nobody. We're just busting balls. We just want to let everybody know. We're just fucking flexing. We're just flexing a little bit. That's all. Mark had to put out the 130 some odd episode thing, and I like that about you. It's all about chemistry, really.
Yeah.
That's why this podcast is what it is, because I enjoy speaking to Mark. I enjoy shooting the shit with him. I like the people that we have on, like Jason Lehman and fucking Joe, and, you know, all the guys that we've had, Chris Lambernides, all the fellas. I just enjoy the camaraderie and the sharing of my everyday experiences and bullshitting, and, you know, and if I can share a little knowledge or something like that, or try something out before someone else and they want to know, hey, what's this like? That's what this is about. Just window cleaners on the glass talking shit. That's what this was supposed to be, and that's what this has become. That's why it is what it is. It's because it's just two window cleaners. You guys seen the video of me and Mark together. You guys see that what we did in the video, we do on this motherfucker every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Available on iTunes, Spotify, Podbean.com, and live here on YouTube at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You know what I mean? Every Wednesday. You know what I mean? It's not anything any different. You know what I mean? What we did on the glass is what we do here. Our conversation in the truck, I shot every conversation we had in the truck. It's just like the podcast. I'm like, well, fuck, this is the podcast. I'm going to give this to the Patreon guys as a podcast for, like I did with the road show, the podcast from the road.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you guys have that for a while, and then I'll release it publicly, but you guys get the first bite.
When I met you physically for the first time in Kansas City, you know, and Seth as well, and Seth and I have had a lot less conversation than you and I, TJ. But you know, the first thing Kate asked me, my wife asked me when I came home was, well, you know, she didn't ask about anything except for how was it meeting TJ, and I go, it's just like I knew him for 10 years. You know, there was nothing different. You know, it was just like
I drove 11 and a half hours and then stayed up till like 3 or 4 o'clock. I got up at like 4 o'clock in the morning and didn't go to bed till like 4 o'clock in the morning. Because me and Mark stood out in the fucking parking lot bullshit, and Seth was fucking hammered.
Yes.
Seth was hammer fucked. He's like, yo, guys, I love you guys and everything. He goes, and I like talking. You guys like to talk, but I'm fucked up. I'm going to bed. I'm out. Then came to the show late the next day. He's like, sorry, guys. Apparently I needed to sleep.
Yeah.
And then we stayed.
It's a hell of a lot,
right?
But yeah.
Then we stayed up till like 3 o'clock in the fucking morning again, and then I got up at 6 o'clock. Josh had us up at 5:30. Hey, it's time to go. I'm like, dude, I've been sleeping for 2 fucking hours. That's all Josh did the whole time we were there was sleep. It's like he left just to go to sleep. He's like, I'm coming with you guys to Kansas City so I can sleep.
Yeah.
Because I don't sleep at home.
Barbecue, talk shit, and go to sleep. Yeah.
We're going to switch gears here for a minute because Chris Johnson just asked a question that I wanted to talk about tonight.
Yeah. Go ahead.
He said acupuncture update. Okay, so those of you that know, 6 months ago I was almost incapacitated. My knee was so bad that I went to 2 different doctors. My brother had torn meniscus, so he had surgery on his knee, and my brother said to me, Mark, don't get yourself cut open if you don't have to. If you can find another way around it. So approximately 3 months ago, I started going for acupuncture. And I was not a believer in acupuncture. Well, to give you an update, Monday I went for a treatment, and the doctor says to me, he says that you're walking great. I go, you know what? My knee doesn't even hurt to where I even notice it anymore. Mm-hmm. He said, and he did his, he moves it in a certain way because basically my kneecap was not tracking properly with my knee in motion. So it was keeping me up at night. I would wake up and it was on fire. And I was taking, over-the-counter pills. I was using Australian Dream, which I sent you a picture of, TJ. It's great for arthritis because that's what I thought I had was arthritis because the symptoms of arthritis is it spikes at night and it felt like my knee was on fire. So, again, I wasn't getting good sleep. Well, he said to me on Monday, we're only going to see you every other month. And I said, you know what? I want you to work on the other knee because this knee is so good. The other one's starting to feel that the way this one did when it first started. Mm-hmm. But I got to tell you something, dude. It works. I mean, that knee. I didn't
notice you walking weird.
And that was 30 degrees out, so you would think it would have been a problem. When I went to the IWCA, the Airbnb that my wife rented, the elevator was all the way in the back of the building. And it was just a pain in the ass to get to. So we had to climb 3 flights of stairs at least 20 times. And my wife, like halfway up every time, is like, how's the knee? I'm like, it's fine. Leave me alone. My knee is fine. So to answer your question, 100%. I stand behind it. It's cheap and it fucking works. It makes your body heal itself, basically. And if you have shoulder issues, elbow issues, what's that, Seth?
How often do you go?
Initially I started going twice a month.
So how do you find out if a motherfucker's a legit fucking like Steven Seagal burning incense on the acupuncture type of motherfucker?
Honestly, I can't answer that. I can say this to you. If you speak to several people, you'll find someone that's been for acupuncture and let them refer. That's how I got a referral.
Seth, you know what I'm talking about. We're down in the sensei position. Steven Seagal, he's got they're like burning all around him, and then he's like fucking marked for death. He goes out and fucks dudes up, fucking karate and shit.
I went to 2 doctors. They barely put their hands on me. They wanted to schedule surgery. Mm-hmm. Okay? Right. This doctor, I laid down on his table. I told him what was hurting me. And within 10 seconds, he put his finger. I can pinpoint where the pain comes from. I think it's a nerve. And he put his finger exactly on that spot and says, this is where it hurts you? I said, yeah. He says, okay, we'll take care of this. And there's something to it. It works. Okay, and I have zero regrets. I would recommend it to anybody that so now I'm only going to go once a month and he's going to get this other knee straightened out, and he'll do maintenance on this one.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, he told me, he said, if I move your knee beyond walking or running, and obviously I don't run, he goes, that's when it hurts, right? I go, yeah. He goes, okay, you want this to heal faster with this process, ride your bicycle, because a bicycle is going to add range of motion.
Mm-hmm.
I never rode the fucking bike, which I probably could have been shaved off a couple weeks off of it.
Right.
Just because I'm fucking lazy and I don't have the time to pump the tires up and go ride my fucking bike. Point being, dude, it fucking works.
Dude, hey, listen, Fernando Trevino just fucking dropped the deepest of cuts. He said it's his favorite movie, Blood Bank. You remember that, Seth? You probably don't remember.
What the hell's the name of that movie again?
Marked for Death.
Oh.
Blood Bank. Oh, deep cuts. That was deep cuts right there. Fernando's like Fernando throw down his OG belt right there, like bang, like he said.
That is rough right there. I remember that. Being like, oh, yeah,
that's so fucking funny, man. That is so good. Like, dude, that's another thing I've noticed. Like, just with Chris Johnson, it was like, man, you guys are like part of all you guys that listen to this are like part of the family. You know what I mean? Because they all know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like with Mark's knee and the acupuncture, and then fucking what's his nuts up here? Alberto Mansford said the bicycle helped too, right? So these dudes, you know what I mean, are listening, man, and we love you guys. So if you want to support the podcast, go to www.patreon.com/Squeegee Life and support it. There's a bunch of different tiers. You don't have to throw down the gauntlet, you know. There's $1. You could Henry Drees is on there for $3. You know what I mean? It's like $12 a year, some shit. You could do whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? We appreciate whatever. We really appreciate you guys. That's why we're here doing this show, is for you guys. And plus, you know, we enjoy doing it. We have fun talking to everyone. This is cool, man. We enjoy it. So you can find us on Patreon, like I said there. You can find us on YouTube here, and you can find us on iTunes for free.
Podbean.
Yeah, you can find us on Podbean for free, and Spotify. We're on Spotify too. I'm trying to work out the Google Play thing, but Google Play is like, no matter how I size the image to upload my podcast to Google Play, it tells me my podcast image is too fucking big. Like, I even switched. Have you guys seen the gold mic and the gold headphones with the green background? That's a stock image from Google Play, and it still won't let me. So I'm trying to figure that out. It'll eventually be on Google Play. Maybe somebody listening to this can help me out with that. I don't know. I have a hard time getting fucking the podcast edited and put on fucking iTunes anyways. I'm always like 3 episodes behind.
Yeah.
Fuck. But I'm sorry, guys. You know, this is a lot to do. I clean windows. I listen to Jen tell me whatever the fuck she wants me to tell me, and I go do it because I'm a fucking bitch.
No, this is work for you. I mean, that's why I always hate if, not that we edit anything, but there's been times I'm like, hey, can you take this out or whatever? Mm-hmm. I feel bad because I just show up at 7:45,
right,
and we go with it. Well, you have it's behind the scenes.
The YouTube thing, I mean, the videos and shit, that's tough to stay ahead of. You know, like you want to get on and do YouTube videos, and you don't. It's not like you make a bunch of money doing that. So I started putting links in my description, so maybe guys will click them, and maybe I might get a little something in return for doing all that shit. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
Who knows if it'll ever work? You know what I'm saying? You don't know. You know what I mean? And you put a little extra time in it when someone does something for you to show their appreciation by donating. That's fucking awesome. That makes that's why I want to do cool shit all the time for everybody. That's why I want to do this, because it's just the realization over the last year or so that we're actually doing something here that some people, and it seems to be like, especially our audio downloads are really good. It's like we're reaching some people, and people are digging it and coming back for more. So we really, really appreciate you guys. I don't want you guys to ever not think that. We appreciate every single one of you. Even if you're not Patreon members, we love all of you guys. Everybody, you guys are all...
I had a good question. Question for you. If you wanted to do a donation of $60, can you do a one-time donation to your Patreon?
Oh yeah. You can do that. Like I said, you can. There's a way on Patreon to do that. There's a way to select your donation. You don't even have to do that, man. You don't even got to do that. But if you want to, that's cool, and that'll get you a whole year. You know what I mean? It's not like there's 4 or 5 different levels. You could pick whatever the fuck you want. Whichever, like some dudes are big ballers and drop their balls on the table. Like, I'll give you $20 a month. There's some cool ass like Jason Lehman, fucking Peter Artusa, Seth Byers, fucking Richie Blue, fucking Casper, Chris Lambrinides. There's a lot of folks that have dropped the big bones. You know what I mean? And then there's guys. They're like, yo, man, I'll give you $1, and that's cool too. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Whatever. Most of what we get goes back into this anyways. You know what I mean? Whether it's this or the fucking the t-shirts I sent you for Christmas, and you know what I mean? What you know what I'm saying? But either way, you guys are awesome and we appreciate y'all. So it doesn't matter if you give, you don't give, how much you give, how little you give. It don't matter. It's all there's not, like, if you give $1 a month, you're not going to get any less or more than a guy that gives 20. It's just a collective here. That's all this is. You know what I mean? We don't give a shit.
Well, yeah.
To be honest, the $20 tier was for advertisers anyways. But then Seth and fucking Jason and Peter start fucking. I'm like, dude, that's not. It clearly says for advertising, and everybody bought it anyways. So I love you guys. You guys are awesome.
You guys put a lot of effort and time into it. I know I pop on here from time to time, but
you're welcome.
You guys are
time,
steady. Do your shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, this is a fun podcast to watch. I mean, my girlfriend was giving me shit. A window cleaning podcast. I was like, yeah. 2 hours.
Yeah, like, Window Cleaner Pros. He's at $3. There's a bunch of guys out there, man. Like I said, you can leave it at $3. It doesn't matter. Like, what I'm trying to tell y'all is that's not like a money grab or nothing like that. The everyone will get a membership card. I'm gonna do a new membership card every fucking year, so you'll get a new Sacred Order to the Squeegee card. I think that's cool. That's something, like, when you're dead and gone, your grandkids will be like, my fucking grandpa was in a fucking, like, a secret society that was like window cleaners. What a fucking geek. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's just something to have. You can flash to show people, like, man, I bet you don't know what that is. You know what I mean? It's just something cool, man. Just like, like the keychain. I mean, when you got the keychains, guys, some guys are like, I polished it up. I mean, I just like it the way that it is. It was Mark's Squeegee Heat, Mark made, or Mark, one of Mark's guys made money with. Like, Mark made money with those squeegees. That's fucking cool as fuck. He cut up a part of him and send it to you guys. Yeah. To me, to give to y'all. I mean, I was like, man, that's a fucking great idea, dude. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
I think they're cool.
I think, it's just like a little piece of this. You know what I mean? Like, boom, here's a little piece of me. You're on a keychain, carry it around with you. Hope it fucking brings you good luck or whatever.
Exactly. Well, as someone that's a fan of the show, you guys put a lot of effort in. Now that Mark's come to you, I do really want to see a podcast where you go to him.
Well, it's already in the works.
I got Jen. Yeah, I got Jen and TJ to commit that one day they're going to come to Florida. We're going to go to the Keys.
We might even get married. We might even get married down there. Fuck it.
Yeah, we're going to go ocean fishing. Yeah. We're going to go feed tarpon by hand.
I don't know about that. Maybe Jen will go with me. I don't like the water, B. I gotta tell you, if I can't throw fucking karate kicks, I ain't doing that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, let me tell you something.
I'm just saying.
You throw a bait out there
my
and
first line of defense. It's karate kicks, dude.
75-pound tarpon hits. Yeah, man.
No, dude. Listen, Mark. I'm fucking do not like the water. If I can't see the bottom, I don't want to get in that shit, dude.
All right. We'll go shark fishing then. They're in the flat.
Well, I'll go with you, Mark.
Dude,
I love fish.
That's the one thing. I'm not a big vagina, but I'm going to have a big-ass life preserver on, probably a helmet. I might have my 45 with me. I don't know. Could you have AR-15s on the open water or no?
Yeah.
I'm bringing my AR then. Yeah. My single-point sling.
As long as you don't go 7 miles out, you're good.
Yeah, you're good.
Oh, we can't go to Cuba and take it back? Fuck, we can do it!
Yeah.
No?
That's the one thing I think, for me, seeing Ohio in the snow was beautiful. I mean, you guys are used to that. But to me, just like on my trip to you or from you and just seeing the open fields covered in snow and everything. But and honestly, T, when I got home and I see the beach and the palm trees and the beautiful weather, I'm like, You know, there's something to this.
Right.
You know, I mean,
Got a good life, my friend.
yeah, I would love to be able to part-time here and part-time somewhere else, you know, maybe someday, but
Why don't you just say it? Why didn't you were gonna say it, but you stopped? You said you wish you could be a man and live up north and fucking work in the cold like a fucking straight savage.
No.
But you can't. You got to go down where it's warm.
I told
And
you,
you're a fucking sissy.
I got mad respect for
Yo,
anyone
dude,
who
yo,
gets
I
out
got
of bed.
guys on the internet like, man, you don't know what it's like to work when it's hot outside. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about,
Yeah,
bro?
no.
It does
Oh,
get
there's a
hot
big
where I
difference.
live.
Eddie Stewart
There's
posted that. I was like, man,
No.
It
you
might be
realize
a
it gets
different
hot
kind
in
of
the
heat.
summer, right?
It
Yeah,
might be a different
no.
kind of heat, but cold is cold, motherfucker. I'm telling you.
Yeah, no, cold, look, you don't,
Changes everything.
it changes everything, and when you're from a warm climate and you go there, you're cold to the bone. I mean, dude, I was shaking at times that I felt like a milkshake. You know what I'm saying? I
He
could have hold a
literally
blender
tried to
bottle in my
convince
hand.
me that he
Yeah.
had frostbite. He's like, dude, I've got frostbite. I'm like, my hands are all red. I'm like, dude,
Yeah, that's
that's
normal,
not
dude.
that's normal,
Dude.
bro.
That's a sign you've only been outside for an hour.
Yeah. That means
Yeah,
your fucking
dude.
girl skin, your girl skin's falling off. That's what it is, bro.
Yeah.
All that
Dude.
lady skin was coming off your hands, and it was pink. It was raw. That man skin was starting to show.
I'll tell you what, I'm not kidding you. That lady that was scared when I yelled booyah,
Dude,
and I decided to do the inside of her door. I said this on the last podcast. She had a piece of Scotch tape on the door that you could see the end was already picked up.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a blade on me, but I'm like, I'm cleaning the inside of the door, and I'm like, okay, it's a little warmer in here, and I'm gonna get that tape off. So I start picking at it. I could not feel my finger. I was like, I was touching nothing.
Dude, I
was
still
like, oh my
can't
God.
get over. Dude, I still can't get over him. That lady coming out of that fucking chair was the funniest fucking shit. Booyah! I mean, loud as fuck. You guys heard, I mean, being there, it was even louder, dude. It like echoed off the buildings. I was like, oh my God. And this lady come out of her chair at least a foot, man. Unfucking believable, dude. Unbelievable, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fucking the ice sure did fucking scare Mark when it hit the truck. Scared the shit out of him. Fell off a power line, man. It just boom, it
my
smacked
God.
on the truck. It was crazy
And
as
you
shit.
know what? When you're not used to walking on that, I was afraid I was going to do a Josh. My fucking legs are going to come out any minute.
Oh, I was so hope. I had the camera on. He doesn't know this.
Yeah.
He doesn't know this, but every time we went to walk somewhere, I had the camera on just to try to catch him falling. The whole
was
time.
like-
He never fucking
Yeah.
fell though. So there's hours of like an hour of footage of Mark's like my knees and Mark's head, you know, because that's how fucking short he is.
Aaron. I was
Mark's
Aaron.
doing a shuffle around.
Yeah,
He's just
yeah, he was
his-
shuffling
like-
everywhere. It was funny.
Like that
Like,
Had
eight-foot
these
guy.
big ass
up
K
there.
Swiss on and shit. They look like moon boots.
Yeah. No, every time you step, it's a crunching noise. Like you're stepping on bones, you know?
I was wearing a T-shirt today and it was 41 degrees. I'm like, it's real nice
Yeah.
today. Like outside,
Yeah.
like you get used to it quick.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Well, the key is layers, man. The layers. But that you know, again, spring is coming up, and we talked a little bit about gear. We told you guys to call fucking Jordy or Jersey and mention the podcast and get money off a pole between now and spring, which is very close. We talked about going and getting you a handy sleeve, because if you ain't got one, you're a dumbass. And if you wear a utility belt, you should be wearing a Trident belt. Why not have the best belt? If
Yep.
you're going to wear a belt, why not have the best one? Because
Yep.
you're not going to have to buy a bunch of them. You're only going to have that one. I mean, my belt, I'm a chubbier guy, so when I bend over a classic clasp belt, the quick release belts, I bend over, it comes undone. This ain't going to do that because it's got 3 points of contact. It's got the bottom, the top, and then right here on the front is another latch. And that's, you got to press that in and do all three at the same time. The likelihood of that happening is you are very obese, and then you should just slide the buckle to your hip and then slide your belt, your BOAB over it, and then you're good to go. But other than that, it's not going to come undone. It's legit. Good belt.
Well, if you're at that point in cleaning windows, you're not cleaning enough windows.
Yeah.
Because-
Well, listen.
You better get a hustle on, dog. Yeah.
We trying. I'm chubby, so what are you trying to say? Are you
No,
fat shaming
if
me?
your belt. No, I ain't fat.
Are you
shaming
fucking fat
I'm
shaming
saying
me
if
right
your belt
now?
comes unbuckled like that, and you turn around, like you need to get a Trident belt.
Okay. All right. I was wondering there.
No, it's a good belt. You look, I don't think anything that Maker is going to put out, from what we've seen.
And the polish. Everything's
Yeah.
going to be top notch.
It is. It's
And
going to be.
that's what Maker Products is about.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're not gonna get screwdrivers and glue.
Yeah,
And
you're not going to
anything
get a
else
repair
get
kit with
product.
everything you buy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not going to have to go see the cobbler to get it fixed. You go to a cobbler.
Yeah. Yeah.
The fuck, motherfucker? What do you think?
Yeah.
What are you when we go to Patrick Henry's house? Let me ask Ben Franklin where the cobbler's at, motherfucker. What the? It's 2012, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Anyways,
No. Yeah.
fuck Perry
It's all
Tate
good.
in his ass.
Corona, motherfucker.
Yeah, him and his coronaviruses. But yeah, man, we'll be back next Wednesday. You know,
Sure.
thank you, Seth, for coming on. Thank you for being
Yeah, thanks,
patient with
man.
the shirts. Now, hopefully, I get some money to send them to you. It's cost me like $500 so I didn't charge you shipping. But you know, I love you.
Shit.
I love you, man. I gotta do you a solid. So, but thank you
I
for
saw
coming
your
on.
shirts. They're nice,
Yeah, you
man.
gotta. Hey,
They're
you
nice.
gotta. Yeah, Mark
Yeah,
actually
right,
seen him in
you
hand.
got to
Mark
see
actually
that.
got to wear it. So, I'm
Yeah.
just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah, one of them has a
Tell me what
one of them
shirt-
has a stain on it where I tucked it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you
As
guys.
long as you meatball sub, I'm good.
All right.
you know?
Well, I
There
just
you
want
go.
you to know, Seth, you're welcome on here anytime with us. You know that.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah, I'm definitely home, and if you guys
So, whenever. I mean, if you
I'll
want to
come
come on
anytime.
next Wednesday, you can come on. If you want this to be the TJ Marcus Seth show, we can do that. Whatever you want to do,
Yeah,
Seth.
Hey, Seth.
I would love to be a part of the show. To be honest with you guys, so I would love
That'd
to.
be great.
man.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
Let me ask you something, Seth.
Yep.
So you went away on your trip and you came back. I mean, I was in Ohio for 5 days, and when I came back, it felt like I was gone for 2 months. But you were gone, obviously, well longer than the 5 days.
Yeah, I was gone about 2 months. I drove across the country. I got to see a lot of cool shit. I did like New Year's in Nashville, which was a ton of fun.
Did not take his fucking GoPro like he said he was going to.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't. There was
But
too
continue.
many fucked up situations.
Yeah, just
But
go ahead. Please continue. Go ahead.
No, I got to see a good portion of the country. This is like I've always wanted to travel across the country, and I did it. And yeah, man, I had a blast. Northern California was really cool. Like I had a preconception of what California was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Got there and then kind of realized it was a little bit, it's like anywhere. You think you know a place, and then you go there, and it's
Totally different. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I
there
met
was
a lot.
so there
of
was
people like me.
way more shit on the ground there than you thought.
Needles and poop.
Yeah, there's
The whole
more people shitting.
The homeless population is not a joke, man.
Yeah.
I
Really?
lived right downtown, so I lived on 11th Street.
Uh-huh.
So 1st through 5th Street is like downtown. So
Uh-huh.
I had to walk like 4 minutes to get downtown. I would probably see on an average 20 to 30 homeless people
Wow.
just in about,
Well, if you're going to be
7, 8
homeless, you
months.
should be homeless in California. It doesn't rain or get
Yeah,
cold
well,
or
yeah, I
nothing
mean, it's
there.
like Florida. It's like anywhere. If you're going to be homeless, you might as well be warm.
Right. But
So,
that's
like,
fucking terrible that there's that many homeless people out there.
They had so many petitions going around to like try to help these people out, because it's just I mean I've never personally seen anything like it in my whole life. I've never lived in like a downtown city before, so I've never seen that. But yeah, I mean it was there's a river there called Coyote Creek, and when you go over the river there in the downtown, I would see anywhere between 55 to maybe 75 homeless people camped, just throwing their shit in the river, shitting everywhere. A lot of mental health is like what I saw.
Damn.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy ass people.
Right.
Well,
Where to go?
yeah.
you
It's
know?
obvious throwing money at it doesn't fix the problem. They need to do something for these people.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's also like you go to downtown San Jose, right? And you buy a 1,400 square foot house, which ain't a big house, and it's $1.2 million because it's just there's nowhere for these fucking people to live.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, if you're there, you're fucked. Like, I mean, we rented a 1-bedroom apartment there. It was $3,000 a month.
Jesus
I mean,
Christ.
it's fucking.
Yeah.
I lived in the fucking hood. Like
Yeah.
I'm saying, I walked
Yeah.
outside at night and I was like, I'll just get in the car and drive. Like, I'm not gonna walk there. Like, yeah, it was wild. I'd never seen anything like it, but cool experience.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, man. This podcast went into overtime. We went into overdrive here. I'm surprised Mark hasn't pulled out his pillow yet. But
I'm getting ready.
well,
getting
fucking
ready.
like I said, like Seth. I mean, like I said, you're welcome anytime. You can come on as much as you like. I've told you that 1,000 times.
Yeah, you did.
You know what I mean? Tim knows that too. I try to get Tim on every fucking time.
Yeah, well,
Tim's
we
always got
discussed that
something
on
going on.
Tuesday, TJ, because when I said, it's nice to have a third person on,
Mhm.
but that has to be the right fit, and I've always felt that Seth was the right
yeah.
fit. And on Tuesday, I said, hey, we're going to do podcast. I said, see if Seth wants to come out.
Yeah.
I don't know what his situation is, but
TJ sent me a message about it because I was honestly, I was like itching to go when I got back. I'm like, I need to come on here.
Right? Yeah. Well, it'll be fun.
Oh, we can talk off air for a minute or so, but yeah, I would love to.
Fucking, I tell you, man. Like I said, it's nice when the chemistry works. You know what I'm saying? It's nice.
Yep.
Like with Tim. You know what I mean? Tim you guys just both like it just works. Sometimes it don't. So, but Seth, you're
Josh, not so much.
Josh, yeah, fucking Josh, man.
Josh needs to I don't know. Josh, the man with 37 companies, needs to get some better internet.
Yeah.
I think Josh got pissed at me because he's back in the poop dudes. And he posted up, and I said, "How much is liquid loaf extraction?"
On his business post. Why would you do that on his business post?
I didn't know it was a business post. I just saw the poop.
I saw that. I laughed pretty hard at what you do, but like,
yeah, I seen it too. I was
think
just
Josh
like,
fits
Jesus,
he has
Mark.
he's got that sense of humor where like shit just rolls off of him.
Yeah.
And Mark loves to like
Push-
needle.
Needle.
And I think Josh loves it too. You know what I mean?
Like Mark, I'm always like telling Mark, I was like, dude, you seen how? You don't have a respect for how big Josh is until you see Josh in person, and you're like,
my
oh,
God. So you stand next to him.
He's a fucking mountain of a dude, man. He's a big fucking guy.
I'm 6 foot tall, 225, and he makes me look like a fucking
a little kid, dude.
I'm not a small guy.
Yeah,
but
he's a big fucking guy.
And I was like, I felt like a baby.
And Mark is constantly fucking with him. I'm like, Mark, aren't you worried? He's like, I'll run away from that big motherfucker.
Yeah, dude. You know what? When I'm
than him.
around Josh, I'm like a dog dick gnat. One of those gnats buzzes around the dog's dick all the time.
Well, guys, we'll fucking catch you guys Wednesday. Mark's a fucking asshole. We'll check you guys out later.
Yeah,
Peace.
Peace.